All right, here we go. This is horrible by Asmongold TV. Let's see this thing that happened. Again, we're gonna slipstream Asmongold because it's a little bit spicy. This one's actually really long, but you know, I think
there was a huge shooting yesterday. I'll see if there's anything about this right here. So
yeah,
at least 12 dead. Now there's 16 people that have been killed.
Fox News alert: at least 12 people are
Everybody's
dead after
running.
a horrific mass shooting at a Hanukkah.
So I saw the whole video for this, and it was freaking crazy. I'll give you a little bit of a summary, all right? So Nuck seemed pissed. You want to know what was really ridiculous about this and pathetic about this entire thing? Is that the police literally were too scared to go in. It was actually insane. Like, these guys, literally, they just stood there in plain sight in the open, just like shooting people for like 15 minutes. It was actually crazy. And like, you could hear the sirens, but no one's coming. It was actually so crazy. And I don't know how true, guys, I don't know how true this is yet. The information is not on the surface, but there are speculations. There are speculations that there were women cops on the scene and they didn't go in. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true, but that's the word on the street. And I guess we'll find out.
Celebration in Sydney, Australia. Police in Australia now calling this shooting a terror attack.
Okay. Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yingst is here with the latest. Good morning, Trey.
I don't know how true that is, though. So, like, let's wait on the evidence for that. I was just telling you the rumor. I don't know if it's true.
Yeah, guys, good morning. There's been a terrorist attack in Sydney, Australia at Bondi Beach. Authorities say at least 12 people were killed and 29...
5 children dead, by the way. 5 innocent children dead.
Others wounded when 2 gunmen opened fire.
Now it's up to 16
on crowds of Jews at a Hanukkah event.
Wow.
Local police have released a statement saying, quote, 2 people are in police custody at Bondi Beach. However, the police operation is ongoing, and we continue to urge people to avoid the area. Please obey all police directions. Do not cross police lines. This event was scheduled to start at 5 p.m. local time.
Yeah, it really is. And somebody else linked me, one of my mods linked me this right now. Breaking: Hamas supporters are attacking a Hanukkah concert in Amsterdam.
Man, it's almost like if you import people, you know, you import people from third world countries, you're gonna get third world country drama, you know. Damn, who could have thought of that? No way.
This apparently is happening at this very moment. So, not a good time to be a Jew right now.
I'm in Sydney and was advertised as an event for all ages with music, games,
That's
and
what they
fun.
say.
One man describes what he heard and saw close to the scene of the shooting.
The whole shop just like stood up and we all just ran into the back exit.
That's what I do.
Everyone was pushing everyone. There was no like semblance. We just ran into.
Yeah.
Authorities say one of the gunmen is dead. They are still investigating the specifics surrounding this terrorist attack that targeted.
I'm appalled by the murder.
Does he watch the whole video? Does he watch the video? I'm looking. Okay, he doesn't watch the. Oh wait. Ooh. Okay, guys, I watched the entire shootout video, like the full long shootout video. It is actually so insane. Like, they literally are just standing there, just shooting people, like in broad daylight, without like heavy cover or anything. They're literally just standing there shooting, and nobody does anything about it. It's fucking crazy. And like, I was telling my friends, I was like, yo, if this happened in Texas, there'd be like 50 people shooting at these guys. Like, there's no way this would happen in like Texas. Like, it would be fucking, these guys would be fucked. People would be pulling rifles out of their trucks. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't even be a handgun angle. It would be people pulling fucking long guns out of their trucks and shooting them. Yeah, it's actually crazy. It would never fly in Texas. Absolutely not. No.
Event in Sydney, Australia. These are the results of the anti-Semitic rampage on the streets of Australia over the past 2 years, and with the anti-Semitic inciting calls of globalized intifada that were realized today, the Australian government. Well, I mean, I don't know whether that's true or not, but I do think that. Very obviously, the massive uptick in Jew hate probably played a role at this to some degree. It did probably.
I would say that seems pretty accurate. However, I do have to say that the people who did this would have hated Jews anyway. You know, so I think both can be true. On one side, that there is an uptick in like kind of anti-Semitism in terms of, and there's a lot of reasons behind this, right? I mean, we could talk about that later. But the people who did this would have done it anyway.
To some degree, it played a role.
Jews in Australia, but we are now getting reaction from Israeli ministers, including Gideon Sa'ar, Israel's foreign minister.
Globalize the empanada. You know what's funny is I thought that too. I was literally thinking that too.
Who said in a statement, quote, "I'm appalled by the murderous shooting attack at a Hanukkah event in Sydney, Australia. These are the results of the anti-Semitic rampage in the streets of Australia over the past 2 years, with the anti-Semitic and inciting calls of globalize the Intifada that were realized today. The Australian government, which received countless warning signs, must come to its senses." We're also getting reports in Israeli media right now.
Dude, this shit almost feels like it's on purpose. Like, it's so retarded and so crazy. And it's like, I know, you know, like, fucking, what is it? The, what was it called? What is the name of that term? Hanlon's razor. It's
who the fuck is Leaflit?
Like I wanna say that it must be intentional, but it could just be Hanlon's razor. It could just be they're just retarded. Like, everybody's retarded, which is also a possibility. I don't know.
Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is expected to give a statement in the coming minutes about this horrific attack in Australia.
I think that Israel does play a role in this happening, and I don't want anybody to think that I'm victim blaming with this, because I'm not. But I do think that it's true that Israel, you know, killing a bunch of people in Palestine absolutely has caused it's caused so many people to be radicalized.
I actually don't really agree with this, because they are the reason I don't agree with this is because the reason that Israel went into Palestine in the first place for this like recent conflict is that Palestine literally did this to Israel. Like, the same thing that just happened here, they did that to Israel on a greater scale. On a much larger scale. So it's like, what is Israel supposed to do? Just like nothing? Like, and this is the part I don't understand. I don't get this. And then people will be like, oh, but Israel, you know, they killed some civilians. It's like, yeah, they're in war. They're in war, and the enemy is using civilians as shields. Yeah, obviously. Duh. Yes, they would kill some civilians. Like civilians have been killed in literally every fucking war. Do you think when we dropped the bomb on Japan that we didn't kill any civilians? The fuck are we talking about? Like, civilians have died in every single war ever. Literally every war ever. What are we talking about? What was Palestine supposed to do after Israel's been doing the same thing for decades? Nothing? Doing what? What are you telling? Are you telling me that Israel just goes into Palestine and kills people for no reason? And that's the reason why Palestine retaliated? You have firsthand accounts. So they just like the actual, like, Israel, not like radical gangs or something. Like, you're talking about like actual Israel, like the government. I don't know. Maybe he's right. I don't know. Guys, why don't we just hear me out. Let's just get the leaders of Hamas.
Who the fuck is Leaflit?
Yeah, who the fuck is that? Let's just get the leaders of Hamas and then the leaders of Israel together. Let's put them in a plane and let's like throw them off the back of the plane with parachutes. And then we'll like make a town. We'll like make like a city, like, I don't know, like in Gaza or something. You just pick like some random town in the Gaza. We'll evacuate the entire town. We'll throw guns all over the place. Like, there'll be like a house. We'll put some guns in there, and then we fly the plane over, and we throw them out the back of the plane, and they have parachutes. So they parachute down, and then they battle royale it out like it's like fucking PUBG. Yeah, like Fortnite. And then we just say that's it. This is once and for all. This is the finale. This is the final battle. No more bullshit after this. And that's it. That's it. Like, this is for all the marbles. All the marbles. Yeah, maybe we do. And it's fair too, right? Because like they can pick up any weapons, and we'll have a mix of weapons too, right? Like, we'll have like AKs, we'll have some bombs, some AKs, some Galils. We'll have like a little bit of everything, right? We'll have some NATO weapons, we'll have like some Russian weapons. That way, like, everybody can find a weapon that they're comfy with, just like a real PUBG match. And then we just make them fight it out and put it on pay-per-view. Yeah, sure. You can use that to fund it. And then we just say that whoever gets the chicken dinner, then that's it. That's the winner. And then we just call it at that, and it's over. No more fighting. That would be, honestly, that'd be pretty good solution, I think. I think my solution's the best. Here's my logic. All right, chat, I'm going to explain my logic again, okay? So people that are saying that Israel goes in and they just kill a bunch of civilians for no reason, okay? So you say that, and then Israel says, no, we didn't do it, right? So in this case, in case A, the claim that Israel is killing a bunch of civilians, right? You'd be like, Israel, are you doing it? They're like, no, we don't do that, right? Now, take, for instance, case B, okay? In case B, they sent a bunch of people from Palestine into Israel, killed a lot of civilians, and took a lot of civilian hostages. And we said, hey, did you guys do this? And Hamas said, yeah, we did. Yeah, we did, and it was based. So, I mean, see, that's the information I'm working off of, okay? Like, that's what I've been working off of. So, I don't know, man. You know, like... They literally said it literally happened and we did it. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, it just seems to me that, like, well, I mean, they said they did it, so I trust them, right?
It's against Jewish people in general that they have, and I think this is undeniable. And I understand, like, oh, don't talk about this right now. Like, I don't give a shit, right? I don't care. You want to tone police me? You're at the wrong place. The fact is that, yes, I think that this has radicalized people. It's obvious. It's obvious this is what's happened.
I don't actually think that that's what that is. What it is. Well, actually, hold on. Specifically in the case of this shooter, it might actually be the case. I think Asmon might be right in that. Now that I think about it, when it comes to this specific case of this shooter, but I don't think that that's actually what causes all of the anti-Semitism on the internet. So the reason I think that anti-Semitism exists on the internet is because there's a lot of sus censorship of specifically Jewish stuff, like specific like laws that want to be enacted specifically for Jewish people, and a lot of special like privileges specifically for Jewish people. And it kind of makes people like side eye, you know what I mean? It makes people like, huh, it's kind of weird. Right. And then they just keep doing it. They just keep acting sus. Right. And then it just makes people be like, well, and then you have cases where you have politicians in the United States simping for Israel. And it makes the average person say, like, wait, what the fuck? Why do I care about that? How about me? How about our people? Right. Thomas Sowell says it's because they're jealous of the success and it's easier to blame them. That part is probably true. There probably is some truth to that. But it's like I said, I don't think that's the whole picture. I think there's definitely some, if it's not even suspicious in like reality, just suspicious actions that makes people like really like sus, you know? Like, again, like I said, like politicians kind of bending the knee to Israel, and it's really annoying, and Americans don't like it. And I think that's the reason why a lot of Americans is trying to say, you know what, I don't really care that much anymore about Israel. I definitely feel that Israel is losing like the PR war, I have to say. And like, again, like I'm kind of if I were to say like if I had to pick one, if I had to pick area governed by Hamas versus area governed by Israel, I would definitely be on Israel's side, to be honest. That's just me being honest. Like I'd rather have Israel in charge than people that literally just shoot people. That people that go out and they just shoot random people, and it seems a little bit too much for me, you know? So, like, I don't want to hear about Israel and, like, what Israel thinks about this. You already lived in an area governed by Israel. See, and that's kind of what I mean. It's like that thinking. See what God's most parasocial said, you already live in an area governed by Israel. That's what I mean, is, like, that sentiment. And I think a lot of people share that sentiment. Because a lot of people are like, wait, why is Ted Cruz saying that he wants to fight for Israel? Like, what is this? Why is everybody bending the knee? It's so weird. And yeah, it definitely makes people have that sentiment. So whether or not it's real, whether or not it's true, people feel it, right? That's the important part. Israel is a country that's operating as its own best interest. And I think that comes at the expense of a lot of these like international Jewish people because of how much they've damaged that reputation. And again, I don't think that's fair for people to have that viewpoint. Yeah, I agree. It doesn't change the fact that they have that viewpoint. Yes. It's undeniable that this viewpoint is held by millions of people. This is another what it is versus what it ought to be. And people probably got confused by this. I'm willing to bet that people are going to be confused by this video in about 24 hours. And they're going to start talking shit about Asmon when he's just telling it how it is. People get mad about it, say it shouldn't be that way. You're right. You're right about everything. But it's still true. Yep. But again, the latest information that we have from Australia. That's what I've been saying about a lot of things. Authorities, 12 people are dead and at least 29 wounded following this terrorist attack that targeted Jews at a Hanukkah event. Guys, back to you. And Trey, you mentioned, we could hear from Prime Minister Netanyahu following the Australian Prime Minister, Albanese, See, now you want to know what I think is the ideal situation? I think the ideal situation is to say, listen, we're America. We're the biggest, baddest motherfuckers on the block, and we call the shots. And you can be our friend if you want. I'm cool with that. Israel, if you want to be our friend, that's cool. But don't fuck around with us. That's what I think it should be, honestly.
The statement that went out a few hours ago makes no mention of this being related to a Hanukkah celebration or anti-Semitism. Has the Australian Prime Minister given more indication about that?
Muslims are the reason, not Israel.
By the way, I would say this isn't an Israel-specific thing. I think that of every country. Literally every country.
I think that
Leaf, but that's anti-Semitism according to people. Well, I mean, take your pick, man. Leaflit Nazi, leaflet fascist, leaflet anti-gay, transphobic. Just take your pick, from the hat.
Guy that shot them was a Muslim. I think that people think that. So in this case, you're right. What I'm saying isn't a lie. And if you can't see the interconnected and the interplay nature of like what I'm saying, you're just being an emotional retard. You're being an emotional retard. It's very clear that Israel's actions over the years have caused a souring viewpoint of Jewish people in the entire world. This is undeniable. If you don't think that's true, you are living based off of ideological perspective and you are not in reality.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't. And look, we should be.
And again, whether or not that should be the case, doesn't really matter. What Asmon is talking about is what happened, right? And this is why I say that Israel is losing the PR war, because in my opinion, it should be pretty straightforward for them to say, like, listen, when you ask us, did we kill anybody? We say no, and we have a lot of procedure that leads to that result. Like them shooting warning bombs before they shoot the real bombs, them like calling people and telling them to get the fuck out of the area. All of it, you could use that as evidence to point towards them saying that we actually do care about not killing civilians, right? But civilians still die. Obviously, it's war, right? However, on the other side, Palestine's like, yeah, we killed those people. Yeah, we took it. Yeah. We went in there, we killed a bunch of people. Yeah, civilians, who cares? Also, yeah, we took them hostage. How do you lose that? How do you lose that PR battle? Do you see what I'm like? How do you lose that? What?
Very clear, based on the information that we have, this was a targeted attack going after Jews who are celebrating the first night of Hanukkah in Australia. There is horrific video circulating showing some of the victims who are clearly Jewish in this attack.
Trey, bear with us for one moment. I believe we can dip in live to Australian Prime Minister Albanese holding a press conference now. Watch this with us, and we'll come back to you.
There are nights that tear at our nations.
Didn't Israel have a riot in defense of some soldiers who got arrested for raping a Hamas prisoner? I mean, is that real? Like, is that? Hold on. I'm looking this up because this sounds sus to me. It looks like this actually did happen, but I'm doing a little bit more deep research because I want to look into like which outlets reported on it. But let's see. Ask Grok. I am using Grok. You can't be too trusting these days. I'm not. I'm very skeptical. I'm a very skeptical person. Leaflit has replaced Grok with her ability to deep research. Wait, you mean I use Grok instead of deep researching? Because Grok does it faster. Why would I waste my time? Did you know that using a car has removed your ability to run a lot faster and to walk around everywhere? Did you know using a keyboard has removed your ability to write with a quill and ink? Do you even know do you even quill, bro? Do you even ink well, bro? Let's see here. See, so what I like to do is I like to look at both sides of the reporting and I check what they both agree on. And then that we can determine is true, right? So if you take people that are pro the story, that are saying like, well, it was justified. And then you take the people that say it wasn't justified, and then you see on what facts they both agree on. Thank you, mommy. What facts they both agree on, then that you can be sure is true. Almost certainly sure it's true. Search. Interesting. Which is okay. So there was a detainee. Okay. And they did medical exams on them, found that there was a rectal cut, dried blood, internal bleeding. Internal bleeding. So what happened is, so now one side is saying that they definitely raped him, and then the other side is saying, well, they either raped him or they're concealing the fact that they raped him. The other side is saying, well, I mean, there's other explanations for this. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they graped them in the butt, basically. So this is kind of the yes. Detainee arrived at. So I mean, so what we know from this is that the actual truth here. Well, what is true that we know of is that there was a medical incident with a detainee, and this was in 2024, where the detainee was relatively violent when they were captured. So this particular detainee was a kind of a special case, like fairly violent, like resisting any sort of movement, biting guards, kicking guards, and stuff like that. I wondered, is that, hold on. So like the idea here is that they don't actually, like, do they have proof? I'm trying to see if there was actually any proof. So the protest did occur. The protest did occur, but Netanyahu actually did condemn the break-ins and called for calm. He said that, so this wasn't like, this wasn't really, they didn't really approve of this happening, at least on a public level, right? So what I'm thinking is like, do you think it's possible? Would it be a possible world in which this guy basically fucked up his own butt to like claim that they did this to him? Is that possible? Leaf, it's on the video? Okay, it's on the video. Okay, thank you.
In this moment of...
It's in this video? They're going to talk about it? Maybe they think it was possible to prove the injury, but I think it would also be impossible or impossible. I see your point, but that's a strategy. I don't know. You know, I'm trying to think of like what other things could have happened here. I don't know. Like we'd have to like see the evidence. I'm sure they have evidence on it. But my point is that there could be multiple explanations for what happened. Side one is saying that they definitely did it and that they hid it, basically, like it was a cover up. But see, this would be true too, though. Like if the IDF was actually caught doing this, they would want to downplay it as not grape, as something else. If they actually did do grape, they would want to lower it to assault, basically, or mistreatment of the prisoner if there was proof of it. Sorry, this like report is really long. I'd have to read it. Like it's so long. Like, this is like, yeah, this is really long. And then I'd have to look into all the sources as well.
Darkness, we must be each other's light.
The IDF covers up everything they can. Everyone covers up everything they can. Everyone does. They all do it.
True character.
In fact, that's the only thing you can be sure of, to be honest. If there was one thing you could be absolutely sure of, is that they cover things up. Everybody does.
That we love. Australia is stronger than the cowards who attacked innocent people today. Australia is braver than those who seek to make us afraid. Australia will never submit to division, violence or hatred. We will see justice done and we will come through this together. I'd ask Acting Deputy Commissioner.
I totally agree that the only thing that you can trust is that the government sucks. Yes, you can trust that 100%. Is that the government sucks and that they're probably lying to you. Yep, true, very true.
Ryan to make some comments and then Director General Burgess.
I don't know.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Firstly, our thoughts go out to the families and communities that have been affected by this senseless...
So here's my take on it, guys, is that everybody lies about shit, and I think that everybody's doing bad shit.
Attack today. The AFP stands next to the New South Wales Police and with ASIO in our joint counter-terrorism arrangements, and we'll put all resources we can, all our specialist powers, all our specialist resources towards ensuring that this matter is investigated as thoroughly as possible. In relation to the joint counter...
One thing I find interesting about the modern world, and this is very, very different from how it was in the past. Okay, so in the modern world, these kind of conflicts and blood feuds, they last really, really long because we always have people getting in the middle of it, trying to like create peace and trying to be like, hey, let's like all get along, right? Whereas in the ancient world, if Group A hated Group B, and then Group A was like stronger, Group B just wouldn't exist anymore. You know, and then it would be over. But like now, because of like the new state of the world, now these conflicts last forever. It's kind of interesting to think about, right? I'm not saying it's like a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying it's an interesting insight into like how conflicts were resolved historically.
Create hard times. You can say it's because of Israel's actions, but the real far the morons that allowed themselves to be victimized by thinking what Israel does equals what all Jewish people do and want. I agree with you. I think that it's ridiculous, but I think that it's true. Like the problem is that when you're explaining human nature, you have to acknowledge that certain things that are ridiculous and unfair exist and are the reason why things happen. Like something can simultaneously be true.
Brother Steelman, thank you so much for the kicks. I think the big issue with Hamas and Israel is that when you question Israel called a Nazi or anti-Semitic, and it makes people question it more. Yeah, that's what I said, Brotherhood of Steelman. That's definitely what I said. It's all of the policing is like, it's very sus, basically. Like the way that they try to control the narrative, like they control the narrative, then they control politicians, and it makes everybody kind of sus
and wrong at the same time.
Terrorism team, we have heard that there has been a declaration of a terrorist incident that will enable.
Isn't that the mentality created the whole interventionist mindset to begin with? What, that we will glass you if you do anything? Here's the problem: is you have to set rules. You have to set regardless of like what it is, right? You know, obviously I'm being hyperbolic by saying glassing them, right? But if you set up rules and you say, okay, listen, this is the rules. You agree that you're not going to do this, and the other side, you're going to agree that you're not going to do this, and we're not going to do this shit anymore. And if either of you does it, you will find out, basically, right? And you have, the thing is when they do overstep, they have to actually find out. Because if they don't, then what you said means nothing, and then they don't care. You have to like draw a line in the sand. They have to say like, you cannot cross this ever. And if you do, we will absolutely enforce it. Otherwise, you have situations like Russia where they just don't care, right? Oh, like, yeah, you know, don't attack Ukraine or else we're going to do something kind of, I don't know, maybe, you know what? Maybe it depends on the degree. Like, come on, man. Like you gotta either say we ain't going to do shit or we're going to like absolutely do something.
The AFP.
The vagueness is what causes all of these conflicts, to be honest.
Terrorism team, we have heard that there has been a declaration of a terrorist incident that will enable the AFP, along with ASIO and New South Wales Police, to use specialist powers in relation to this investigation. I don't wish to speculate in relation to any of the information that is currently known. This matter is ongoing. It is in its early stages, and we will continue to work with New South Wales Police to ensure that it's investigated as best as possible. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, Nigel. Thanks, PM. ASIO was also a member of the Joint Counter-Terrorism Team, and our principal role at this stage is to support the police in their ongoing investigation.
Somebody goes, Bro, if you agree with them, point that out. People that conflate the two issues, main catalyst for a shit show. Now, dude, what Israel did was understandable considering the October 7th event. The USA would have obliterated Gaza if the rules were reversed. Oh, you're completely right. You're totally right. If they had done that to America, or
what happened? Nuclear war is the biggest deterrent. Yeah, the biggest problem is we let other people get nukes. It was kind of a bad idea, to be honest.
Done that to China. Imagine what Gaza would look like.
We had them first, and we had the ability to like prevent everyone else from getting it, and we didn't do it.
Okay. It's undeniable. Like it's not even like I agree with you about that, but at the end of the day, you could say that's another example of the same thing that I'm saying.
But at the same time, as is standard practice for us,
we actually give friendly nations nukes. Yeah, big mistake.
We are looking at the identity.
We should have been the only ones with nukes. We should have told everybody else that if you try to develop nukes, we'll fucking blow you up. Basically, should have done that.
The attackers, and where that is known, we're looking to see if there's anyone in the community that has similar intent. It's important to stress at this point we have no indications to that fact.
And you might say like, "Wow, Leaflit, that's such a fucking asshole thing to say." Wow, like what? No other countries deserve to have nukes. Yeah, I don't want anyone else to have nukes. Yeah, I can say that. I don't want anyone else to have nukes. But why, Leaflit? What about the other countries? Don't they deserve to like to have them too? No, not really.
We have active investigations on the national terrorism.
It's not really a fucking thing. It's just why would I want everyone else to tech up to a weapon that they can use to destroy us? Why would I want that? It's ridiculous. You're just fucking. You're kind of. I don't know. You're kind of cucked if you actually you're kind of cucked if you actually think that, if you don't think that, basically, in my opinion. So why would I want other countries to have any leverage on us like that?
Threat level remains.
The big problem that these people have is that there is a lot of, and I think that, and I said this at the beginning of the show, and so I'll say it again, is that Western culture right now has a deliberate blind spot for Islamic extremism and Islam.
This is another reason, by the way, sorry, I know I'm tangenting kind of a lot on this video, sorry. It's the reason why I actually don't oppose military spending. Like, a lot of people like oppose military spending. I don't. I want guys, I don't know if you knew this, but the United States could take on everybody. Like, if you took nuclear weapons off the table and the entire world ganged up on the United States, we could still take them. And that's why I'm fine with military spending. Sounds like a good deal to me. Sounds like a damn good deal.
Intent. It's important to stress at this point we have no indications to that fact, but that is something we have active investigations on. The national terrorism threat level remains.
The big problem that these people have is that there is a lot of, and I think
a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think that a lot of people think that if someone tried to go to war with the United States, that we would like need to, you know, we would need to like rally like a bunch of people. It's like not true. Like, literally, if everybody attacked us at the same time, we would still probably win. I think we'd have a significant advantage even if the entire world attacked us simultaneously.
And I said this at the beginning of the show, and so I'll say it again, is that Western culture right now has a deliberate blind spot for Islamic extremism and Islamic terrorism inside of Western countries. The reason why...
What gives America such an advantage? Technology. Our Navy and our Air Force is fucking insane. Like, it's not even close. Like our air dominance, our air superiority is so fucking insane. Like, you wouldn't fucking believe it. Like, there's nothing. They're literally flying like baby ass ships with like. They would lose. They would lose very, very badly in air superiority and probably sea superiority as well. Like, I think, like, for instance, like one single one of our ships has like more military force projection capabilities than the entire military of some countries, just on one ship.
They have a deliberate blind spot is they think that going after obvious and very well expressed viewpoints that are like radical.
Yeah, like one aircraft carrier could take on entire countries in Europe. It's that crazy, basically.
Terrorist ideology, that kind of stuff is like, you can't go after
the Chinese military is on the same tech level. No, they're not.
Who
they're
the
not,
fuck
no.
is Leaflit?
They're gonna get there though if we keep being pussies about AI, to be honest. That's why I'm kind of irritated by that.
That you can't call.
Yeah, it's like not even close.
What it is, because if you do, then that's racist or Islamophobic. Number one
but the problem is, but here's the thing though, is we shouldn't underestimate China either. Underestimate China at our peril, because AI is completely going to change the game. And if they're able to utilize like AI and like drone technology like way faster than we are, because like we're too upset about AI or whatever, then yeah, there could be a situation in which the way war is done completely shifts from, you know, kind of like what we saw in Ukraine, and then that puts us not really at a disadvantage, but like makes them closer to being able to fight us. And the thing is I don't like close to fair. Does that make sense? Like, if they're even getting close to a fair fight, then I don't like that. I think that's we don't even want to be anywhere near that.
Islamophobia isn't a real word. It's never been a word. The only reason why the word exists is to stop people from criticizing a religion. And I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. If you have a religion, it is not immune from criticism.
China is going for cultural victory. That's actually our weakest point, to be honest. If another country wants to destroy the United States, you would have to do it culturally. I think right now, that is our weak point. That's our Achilles heel, is culture.
Expressed viewpoints that are like radical terrorist ideology. That kind of stuff is like, you can't go after that. You can't call that what it is, because if you do, then that's racist or Islamophobic. Number one, Islamophobia isn't a real word. It's never been a word. The only reason why the word exists is to stop people from criticizing a religion. And I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. If you have a religion, it is not immune from criticism. That's outrageous. So the big problem is that Western countries do a worse job than muddle Middle Eastern or like Muslim countries in the regards of dealing with these extremists, right? Is because in the UAE or these other countries, they go immediately after these guys. They totally shut them down, and they take the imams that are preaching this stuff and they put them in fucking jail, right? If they're preaching terrorism or they're preaching actual violence, that's what happens. But because the West isn't able to do that because they're afraid of being called a name, we let this stuff get more radical than it has to be.
It's true.
And so if we had just approached this from like a neutral, rational, logical position, we would be able to deal with it easily. But
well, it's not only that. Sometimes people do things that are against the law and we just don't enforce it. Ron says we're in the same situation with China that we were with Russia during the Cold War. They made a lot of claims about their tech that we look as being underrepresenting their true capabilities. Then when we casually build equipment that could beat those non-existent technologies, we're seeing that again. We're developing stuff to match what we're being told to show, and the assumption is better than what we're seeing. Yeah. I mean. A lot of the military calculus has changed with the Ukraine war because we were able to actually see what Russia was capable of projecting. And it was really bad, basically. It was a lot worse than like anyone had anticipated.
Fortunately, we're not able to do that because, Islam is like a primarily brown people religion. And so criticizing Islam is being racist. And this is the mentality and the cage that literally probably tens of millions of people in America have put themselves in. So it's really, really hard to, and this is also true in Europe too. It's true in like the UK, for example. Like Europe obviously is a big place. Like it's true in the UK. It seems like it's true in France too as well. Is that really getting rid of this kind of stuff is a no-brainer. It's a total no-brainer. It's obviously you should put people like this that are preaching like jihad and violence and stuff like this. You should put them in jail. It's like not even a question. But the problem is that they don't want to do that because they're afraid to do that.
Yeah, it's like I said,
Islamophobia is real.
That's what I said. It's like even if it's against the law, we won't even enforce it. And that's like the big issue is we let people get away with all sorts of bullshit.
It's not real. Being afraid of an ideology isn't a phobia. In order for you to put that on the same level as like,
is that what I think it means? Thank you, Bantha Man. I think this is if you want peace, basically? Yep. If you want peace, prepare for war. Yep, exactly.
Like racism or like homophobia or something like that. It's just simply.
It's what makes sense, right? If you have such overwhelming force, then nobody can attack you. They would have to attack you. Them attacking you would be like retarded, basically, right? So, I mean, that's why you want to increase your military capabilities. So it makes nobody want to do anything to you. But I mean, think of it this way, right? When you play Civ and you have another country at your border and they have like a military and their military is right at the border, do you feel safer when your military is like 2 tech trees higher? You see them with their little sling throwers and you're like, yeah, I got muskets, right? Like you're just like, you don't even care, right? But whereas like if it's early game and you've got like your squad of spearmen in Civ, and then they're marching on you with a bunch of warriors, you're just like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this, right? You don't even want to get to that part, basically.
It's not how can you have an irrational fear of an idea? It's retarded. And so, no, it's an invented word that's made to make people shut up and not be able to express themselves. What do you call hatred towards Muslims then? The same as you call hatred towards Christians. People don't like their religion. A disagreement. Somebody reads the Quran, they don't like what it says. You don't need to instantly label them. That's just a person that disagrees with it. A preference, yeah, an opinion. Yeah, hatred's not fear, exactly. What about Jews then? Well, if you're criticizing, in my opinion, Jews is more complicated because Jewish people are an ethnicity and a religion. So if you're criticizing the religion, then there's nothing wrong with it and it's not anti-Semitic.
I feel like we need to split it, guys. What do you think? We need to, can we just okay, guys, hear me out, chat. Hear me out. What if we had this? Okay, guys, what if we had trans Jews and cis Jews? So like if you were like a Jew, but you're like ethnically Jewish, then you're a cis Jew. But if you convert to Judaism, then you're a trans Jew.
If you're criticizing the ethnic group of Jewish people or Semitic people of that area, then yes, it's racist. This is simple, plain logic. And anybody that can't understand it is retarded. Well, the radical Muslims don't really agree with the Quran either. That's not up to me to debate. At the end of the day, if you have a group of people that is hyper radical and violent, you need to address it directly. You can't be afraid of being called a word and then let it get worse.
Probable. I don't see that changing at this stage. Probable means there is a 50% chance of an act of terror, and unfortunately, we've seen that horrific act.
Wait, I got it. What you got? What, Julia? What do you got? Who betrayed Jesus? Judas? Oh, you're so fucking stupid.
In Australia. Thank you.
Yeah, seems that way.
A few questions.
Promise you call this terror. Are you aware of any other terror threats at the moment? And what's your message to Jewish Australians
Let's skip ahead.
who may not feel safe?
And officials there want to bring in Trey Yingst back from Tel Aviv as you follow this. And Trey, it seems that obviously we now hear the Prime Minister declaring it an act of terror.
Yep.
A lot of questions from the press there about whether or not his government is taking the threat of anti-Semitism seriously enough. It's 10:30 p.m.
The first IPAC donation, 30 pieces of...
on Sunday night there in Sydney. They've had
the problem is that they let violent people, like, and the issue also is that there is a contingency. It's not the majority, but there's a contingency of the Free Palestine movement that do actually hate Jews. It's true. And they're out there, they say it, and yes, some of the people mean from the river to the sea, they mean, okay, this is like just an ideology of a two-state solution, and there's like a common, like understanding, but there's a lot of other people out there, and again, they might lie and tell you that, oh no, nobody thinks that. They obviously think that. Look at how they talk about Jewish people on the internet. Look about how they talk about people that are Jewish in these like chants that they have. Yeah, there are a lot of them that are like that. And the problem is that their mind is from the river to the sea. Guess what that actually means? Look at the geography. It means Israel doesn't exist. That's what a lot of...
Yeah, I seen like I mean, this is like kind of pretty true, where there are people that are... what's the word? There are obviously people that are like anti-Semitic in like a true sense. I saw a VTuber earlier. There was a VTuber that was talking about some issue, and another person just replied that I think it was Neven or something. And then a person like replied with like "Shut up, IDF member," and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what does that have to do with anything that they were saying? Like, what?
Them are advocating for. Absolutely. It probably isn't even a majority, but the problem is that
of it. Yeah, for sure.
It's enough of them in order for it to be a problem on social media, and it's enough of them that there is a culture that is around this that is agreeable, and people feel comfortable and confident being this way.
Hours to sort of process this, but the takeaway that I took from what we just heard, Trey, was the official saying that with the counterterrorism team that the threat level's still at probable, that there is a 50% chance or better that there could be an ongoing...
That's the thing from river to sea, all those that mean it, not just some innocent don't know thing. I don't know about that. I think a lot of people don't even know what's being discussed in that regard.
Threat.
They just say
Australia's Prime Minister formally declaring this an act of terrorism targeting Jews, saying that he stands with the Jewish community of Australia. But that last question you heard there from a reporter is a very important question that Australia's Prime Minister did not answer. And he was talking about guaranteeing the safety of Jews in Australia.
I think my feed broke again. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, my feed did break again. Super Absol, thank you so much for the sub, by the way, over on Twitch. And thank you again for the gift sub. Thank you again. Thanks for all the follows,
because
everyone.
Israeli officials have already come out and said over the past several weeks that they have warned the Australian government about the possibility of attacks targeting the Jewish community in Australia. And yet the security state there had not rose to the level at which it could to stop an attack like the one.
Here's the reality. If you import a bunch of people that have a...
Your feed broke again. Why would Israel do this to me? Now you're talking about the trans Jews or the cis Jews?
Radical religion that is built off of a hundreds of years, centuries of years blood feud with another religion. If you import a lot of those people into your country, you're going to have problems like this. This is undeniable.
Yep. Everyone knows it.
It's such a common sense perspective, but for some reason, this is the issue, is that you're not able to discuss things like this
because people are
too afraid to. That's what it is. You can't bring a bunch of these people into the country and then expect all of them are going to just assimilate. Now,
the issue is that they've created an ideology where people are just interchangeable parts, where the culture in like which you were forged doesn't matter. That you're just like you're like a fucking RAM chip, and you just get plugged in wherever, you know, like which switch it to this other one. And it's like a hard drive. Just move it to another one. It's fine. It's like it's some kind of like Legos or something, right? People are forged from the culture in which they are raised because of, I mean, this just makes sense, right? Like we can all agree that children have much more neuroplasticity, right, than adults. That's why children learn faster. That's why children are able to kind of more assimilate into cultures faster. It's because their brains are it's a lot easier, more malleable, basically, right, than adults. Can you still change as an adult? Sure, but it's a lot harder. There's a lot of willpower involved there, right? A lot of willpower and a lot of holding back on certain tendencies, like certain temptations. But because children are able to do that, they're forged in the country in which they're born, in which they're raised. At least until like they're, I don't know, like younger, like maybe 12 or something like that. And the idea that like people are just some kind of plug and play thing is stupid. It's just this dumb globalist, hypothesis. It's so obviously wrong. Neuroplasticity. No, neuroplasticity, Zarg, means that the way that you think and the things that you learn are your brain absorbs more of it early. That's why kids can learn languages really fast. That's why that's why like early education is super important, because younger people soak in information like a sponge compared to older people. You know the phrase, you can't teach an old dog new tricks? It's basically that. It applies to humans as well.
if it was up to me, I wouldn't do this at all. Like, I would take 0 refugees. I would take 0 of these people, period. Because a lot of these people are, some of them at least, are extremists.
Yeah.
And do we really need more religious extremists in the country? Absolutely not.
Took place today that took the lives of 12 innocent people, of Jews who were celebrating the first night of Hanukkah. And so we can expect in the hours...
I think also there's like a degree of like Western naivete.
Rognar says, yo, Leaf, I think I got a solution to racism. What if we had these areas called nations where you could only have one race and each nation was... You know, I thought about that. I remember I had a debate with Remote about something like that. Is it a Remote or... It might have been Ira. I don't remember. I had this debate with somebody where we had a thought experiment of so here, it goes like this. So if you could create a world in which everybody is walled off, so you can do some trade with only authorized vendors that are allowed to go between countries. Otherwise, there's like a Attack on Titan wall around every country. And you can only be a part of that country if you're of X race and you don't do any intermingling. Would that cause a situation? And see, this is where I came up with the solution to this. Well, not the solution, but the counter argument to this. So it goes like this. So every country has a wall, and you're only allowed to be there if you're of that race, right? Now you wouldn't have race as a factor in terms of people fighting, right? So you would create more harmony in society because of that. So what if everybody was happier because of that? The counter argument to that is that it doesn't matter what the fact, and this is my counter argument. This is how I break the argument, is that I believe that it's human nature to fight over differences, and that if the difference isn't racial, like a skin color or skin tone, it's gonna be like your nose is too big, or your arms are too long, or your eyes are too small. It's gonna be like some other factor, freckles, some other factor that makes people fight each other. Because I think it's in human nature. It's in human nature to fight other people based on differences. Humans, like the animalistic nature of humans, tends towards tribalism and fighting against other tribes, regardless of like what creates that tribe, and it will always exist. That's what I think. You disagree, and I can't say why, because you're gonna get banned. Well, I mean, I'm assuming you're gonna make some kind of genetic argument in terms of aggression and intelligence. That's my guess. But in that case, wouldn't the factor for which so wouldn't the factor instead then be intelligence? So you'd be like, if you want to live in this area, you have to have over a certain amount of intelligence, because otherwise, if that's not your factor, then there's something else going on. There's something else going on in your brain, Julio. If your factor is not if intelligence is not your line, there might be a little something else there. You know, I mean, like, I'm just saying. You said violence and intelligence, yeah. So you would like say you were able to measure it, then you would use some kind of factor to measure it, correct? Eugenics is a bit of a rabbit hole. It kind of is, yeah. It kind of is. It's an interesting thing to think about, though. I think it's an interesting thought experiment, I think, to help you understand your principles, right? So it sounds like a really disgusting thing to even discuss, but then like you discuss it so that you can understand what you believe, right? Does that make sense? So you're not discussing it to be vile. We're discussing it to understand what is the actual where do your moral foundations lie? Anyway. Or Arnest, thank you so much for the bits. We should have mini countries where we send racists and they're separated based on race because they don't get along with other races. Like a PvP server. No, I mean, I think people, I mean, that's just what I think. I think that people will fight regardless of what it is. They'll find some reason to fight. The real solution for me is to use culture to fight the animalistic instinct, because I think the ad reminded me of health. Thank you so much, Grifix, and thank you, Punish this as well. Leaflit, do you have short hair? No, I actually have really long hair. Anyway, so what I was saying is, how long is my hair? It is to my butt now. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that it's, lost my train of thought. Right. Human conflict, morals, right. So my whole idea is that, again, humans are animalistic. They're going to act animalistic. The way that you counter that is via culture and religion. That's my take on it. So by finding camaraderie, brotherhood, sisterhood within the divine or within a strong culture, you develop, usually both, it's usually a little bit of both, you find a cohesiveness that transcends flesh, basically. Does that make sense? That's what I think you need to do.
To think that, oh, well, everybody is just gonna get along. What are you, fucking retarded?
It creates a better tribe than one based on race. That's my opinion.
Oh, well, they'll understand, like, and everybody can just get along and it'll be okay. And, you know, like, it's like, oh, well, you know, like, people can just learn to live together. No, they can't. Some of them can't. And enough of them can't that it's a problem. Mm-hmm. And you can run from it. You can be like, oh, this isn't true. It's not true. But you're going to keep having these shootings. These shootings, here's what I can guarantee you. This will only become more common.
I agree.
This is the best that
it has been more common. It's become more common. You could see it becoming more common. It's like nowadays, like some shit like this happens. Hey, did you hear some Middle Eastern person shot up a place? You're like, oh yeah, damn, that's crazy. You guys playing Arc Raiders tonight? That's literally how it goes. That's literally what happens now. Like it's so crazy
right now. It's gonna keep getting worse.
In days ahead, a lot of statements not only from Australian officials but also from Israeli officials commenting on the security situation and also the rise of anti-Semitism, not only in Australia but around.
Put it this way: think about how crazy it was when something like this happened years ago. Like not even that long ago. Think about how crazy it was when the Las Vegas thing happened. Like it was so crazy. You know, like. That's kind of what I mean.
Around the world. And this has led not only to attacks as we saw this horrific terrorist attack today, but in other places. The murder of those two Israeli embassy employees in Washington, D.C. The attack against Jews who were...
The big Las Vegas shooting. The big Las Vegas shooting. I was watching that shit live, dude. I was like watching it on TV. It was crazy. I remember like laying in bed watching the footage of it. Yeah, it was super crazy.
Peacefully demonstrating in Colorado. This is a systematic issue that continues to be a problem across the world. And today, what we learned was...
And like nowadays, look what it's like now. Nowadays, it's like freaking Tim Pool gets shot at, everyone's like, oh, damn, that sucks. Yeah, okay. like what's it called? The Overton window, is that yeah, Overton window has been blown the fuck out. Like it doesn't matter anymore. Like after Trump got shot at, after Charlie Kirk got shot at, like all of the school shootings, everybody's just kind of like,
that the Australian authorities say they are standing with Jews there in Australia, but these questions...
Well, they're not standing with Jews at all. They're not standing with anybody.
What am I eating? I'm eating cough drops. Sorry, I'm not eating on purpose. I'm eating cough drops because I'm coughing a lot, and the cough drops help me not cough because it like coats my throat and my lungs and makes it so I'm not coughing so much. Yeah, sorry about that. That's what that sound is.
Standing with
I'm not like eating like a fucking hot dog while I'm streaming. I'm literally it's just a cough drop.
Religious extremist zealots and ideological zealots that think that Jews have some kind of...
Authorities say they are standing with Jews there.
They're just Ricolas. Ricola's my favorite. It's like all natural and it just tastes good. Hi, Chio.
In Australia, but these questions...
Well, they're not standing with Jews at all. They're not standing with anybody. They're standing with radical religious extremist zealots and ideological zealots that think that Jews have some kind of, like blood
magic
accountability to Israel. And so they look at bad actions Israel has done.
Did you see that interview with the guy? And he said that Jews have magic, like black magic powers. And then the interviewer was a Jewish guy, and the Jewish guy says, "Oh, really? Like, damn, where did I get that?" He's like, "I've been Jewish all my life, and they never taught me that. How the fuck do I learn that?" So funny, dude.
Or they think Jews have done historically, and then they assign that to every Jewish person. That's what's happening. That's clearly what's happening. And I don't know why there's so much effort and work being done.
The only magic Jew is Nux. I thought that Nux got his power from ketamine. I thought that was the lore. Isn't that how it works? Is like he has to and then he becomes like super Jew or something. What is the term for it? Is it super Jew? I don't know. Is it like Super Saiyan, Super Jew? I don't know. The super blue Jew, super. But wouldn't it be super Jew blue? SS Jew? Yeah.
Pretend like this isn't what's happening. If you want to stop the anti-Semitism, you have to go after the people that are advocating to kill Jews. That's what, if you want to go after anti-Semitism, you have to find the people and, but it's their religion. This is a religious expression. Okay, sounds good. Go back. Wherever you came from, go back.
True.
And you can express yourself over there.
Yup.
This is crazy, insane that we're putting up with this bullshit.
I agree with Asmongold 100%. Not a problem.
The latest information, though, Griff, that we have about this attack that took place, there was a Hanukkah event at Bondi Beach that was set to...
anyone expressing to kill, remove them as soon as possible.
Bondi Beach?
Yeah, but they're afraid to do that. I think things are going to have to get a lot worse in order for the public to be fed up with this. I do. And your guys, we have to look forward to more mass shootings, more terrorist attacks, more third world ideological blood feuds that are coming to Western countries and then playing a role in our elections. You're going to have to get used to it, guys, because it's going to get worse. The reason why it's going to get worse is because people don't realize how bad it is. Mm-hmm. Most people don't understand the problem until the problem affects them directly.
Start at 5 p.m. local time in Australia. After that event...
Import the third world, become the third...
Yo, chat, should I tweet that? I get confused because there are people who are ethnically born Jewish, and then there's people who convert to Judaism. Can we, call them trans Jews and cis Jews? Should I post that on X? Dude, how mad would people be if I posted that? Post it on Maine? Do it in 10 Nux? You take it a level deeper? Wait, what's a level deeper? Don't get more haters just for a lame joke? I like making jokes, though. I am a joker. I make jokes. You're thinking of converting to Judaism if you're pre-op Jewish. You can't say trans Jews to those who are born, so you can say Jews assigned at birth. Oh my God, guys. Wait a minute. Wait, Jews assigned at birth? COVID. Jab. Jew assigned at birth. Jab. Get the jab. Ronald Reagan. don't know. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Taking anybody from these third world countries at all.
And to light the menorah, the first night of Hanukkah, these two gunmen approached the event and opened fire on a crowd of Jews. Australian authorities say 12 people were killed and 29 others wounded.
We had to make an AI of that? Okay, let's try real fast. I don't think it's going to accept it, though. I think it's going to tell me, you can't talk about Jews at all. I think this was going to happen if I do it. But I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm willing to give it a shot for the memes. But I don't think it'll work. Heel Monday Lane, thank you for 5 gift subs. Thank you. Do you like Jews, Leaf? I like anybody that is a good person. Okay, hold on. All right, Sora 2, model, lens. It's very simple for me. I like Americans. I like people that are American and they're loyal to America. Then we can be cool. All right, okay. A conspiracy theorist, show talking about... I don't know if it'll work. What do you guys think? Do you think it's gonna work? I think it probably won't work. My guess is that the AI is gonna be like, I can't do that because it's racially insensitive. And then I'm gonna have to go to the Chinese AI to do it. Oh, there it is. Content violates our content. This content violates. Okay, hold on. What if I change it? Jews. I'm gonna say Jews. Joos. This is just like Apestein, like Jeffrey Apestein. Fuck. Wait, what? You can't say Jew. Okay, what if I say juice? Okay, it worked with juice. It didn't work with Joos though. I mean, I don't know. It's still processing. It might not. It might still cancel on me. It might still cancel on me, but I'm hoping it'll work.
There are a number of prominent Jewish individuals who were there, including one individual.
If you need ideas, Leaf, Quagmire flirting with Nami, you can't do anything. This isn't the old days of Sora. Sora is absolutely fucking neutered cooked right now.
Who we've actually interviewed on Fox before, Arsen Ostrovsky, a man that I've met at Hostage Square here in Israel. And just a few weeks ago, he traveled to Australia to work on fighting.
They weren't immigrants. One of them had a gun license for more than a decade. I think that in some cases that's true, but I think that overall, I don't know, like, were the parents immigrants? Like, this has been a problem that they have created. It's not like if you bring somebody over and then they have a kid here, that kid is just instantly going to be like Western ideology.
Yep.
I'm not going to kill people for a religion, like, mindset. That just, it doesn't happen. Like, I know that, like, again, we all want to believe in...
We created this plug-and-play mentality that people are like Mr. Potato Head. People in countries just Mr. Potato Head. You just plug in some different parts, it's going to be fine.
This blank slate and all of this stuff. That's not the way it works. It's never going to be the way it works either. Second generation are often more extreme. Yeah, a lot of people say that. A lot of people say that in general. And apparently people are telling me that apparently these shooters was like a father and a son.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Did you guys hear about that? Allegedly, it's a father and son duo.
It's not about Jewish people. It happens every year during December. The mass runover events will sadly happen again in the next few weeks. Well, it's happening at this very moment, apparently in Germany, I believe.
Anti-Semitism on the ground, and he was wounded in this terrorist attack. One image that he approved for circulation showed his...
Imagine hating Jews more than you love your own son. Isn't that crazy? These people...
His bloodied face after he dove to the ground when these gunmen opened fire on this crowd of people at Bondi Beach. And so this is not an isolated incident. This issue of rising anti-Semitism around the world is now playing out again with violence against Jews. And for the first night of Hanukkah, we know that Israelis are going to gather at Frishman Beach here in Tel Aviv to have a vigil for their fellow citizens and those who were affected by this horrific terrorist attack in Australia.
So, Trey, in the hours since that attack, we've seen on social media videos that purport to show a bystander taking down one of the gunmen. Is there any indication that those videos are real? I know that at Fox we have not verified them yet. To use them, do you have...
There are some kids that have apparently agreed with political violence. It's worrying. Well, the only reason why it's worrying...
It's a dose of juice assigned at birth. They call it the jab. But long before the slogans and the billboards, we were all getting a different kind of jab the moment we were born. That heel prick, the newborn scream, it's a dose of juice assigned at birth. They call it the jab. But long before the slogans and the billboards, we were all getting a different kind of jab the moment we were born. That heel prick, the newborn scream, it's a dose of juice assigned at birth. The billboard...
See, like, to me, it's not worrying at all. because there's a way
we're born. That the newborn screen, they call it the jab. But long before the slogans and the billboards, we were all getting a different kind of jab the moment we were born. That heel prick, the newborn screen, it's a dose of, they call it the jab. But long before the slogans and the billboards, we were all getting a different kind of jab the moment we were born. That heel prick, the newborn screen, it's a dose of juice assigned at birth.
way you deal with that, you just put them in a box, and you put the people that are saying it in a box too, and then the problem goes away. It's actually really easy. But the problem is that nobody wants to do that because people are so, there are so many levels of abstraction from the consequence of people's values that people's values have become
Monday Lane, thank you for 5 gift subs again earlier. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Monday Lane. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the generosity. Thank you.
Destructive to society. People have all of these value systems that are totally destructive to average society. And the reason why they have the value systems is that they never have to actually be held accountable for them. So that's why I said that it has to get worse in order for things to change, is because until these people are having their supermarkets run over, until they're having people open up fire in, their schools and having this happen in general, and it just gets worse overall, and they're getting bullied and pushed around, and you have groups of people that are celebrating it, like whenever people in your community are being murdered, then maybe you're going to take it seriously whenever you're afraid for your own life. It's because most people's politics and values are completely self-referential. Most people don't have any political views other than things that reinforce their own worldview, their own position in life, and also
it's because they didn't reason themselves into those positions, so they don't have any they don't have any consistent principles in any of their beliefs, basically. And this is why you can kind of trap them easily in a debate, because they don't actually know what they believe. What they believe is like, make me feel good. Make me feel good? Yeah. Make me feel bad? Boo. That's like most people.
That they think that they should be in life. So like, for example, a lot of the people that are like, oh, well, I hate billionaires and I hate all these capitalism and everything. The main reason why people
it's true. You can sum up most people's politics with that. Where's the lie? Like most people are like that, to be honest.
Like, oh, well, I hate billionaires and I hate all these capitalism and everything. The main reason why people hate capitalism is because they don't have any capital. That's the big reason. It's not that complicated. So once you understand that the majority of people's political values and their ideologies and everything that they believe.
By the way, this is why they can't understand hypotheticals. Because there's no way to really ground a foundation in your beliefs without hypotheticals. You have to be able to create situations that apply to other. You have to be able to create simulations that apply to other things, so that you can understand and pinpoint the exact belief. Mm-hmm.
Is just in service of them getting what they want. And I understand this is a very cynical view of the way people's values are, but I think it's true, is that they don't really have these. This is the reason why a lot of rich people think that they earned it. Well, the reason why is because they don't want to come to the reality that maybe you also did have a lot of structural advantages as well that gave you an edge over other people that never had the chance to compete against you. So again, that's another example of people that have a worldview that reinforces their hegemony in the world. That's just the way it is. What a big take. It's true. It's absolutely true. Mm-hmm. And it will continuously be true over and over and over, and it will never not be true. That's why I said, for all of these illegal aliens, what I would have done is I would have shipped all of them to the places that have the highest voting capacity for making illegal alien areas okay. I would say, you know what? We're going to have a vote. And for anybody who is against the ICE raids, the places that have the highest ratio of people that are against the ICE raids, I am going to ship so many illegal immigrants into your area that it will destabilize your entire fucking community.
Yep.
And it will make your life a living hell.
That's why it was so based when Abbott did that.
Because if you do that, then they will change. Because it will happen to them. Accelerationism? Absolutely. Absolutely accelerationism. Yeah, can we do that icon shoot? Yeah, and that's what you should do. That's exactly how you should handle them. So did you say immigrants are evil, all of them? I don't think immigrants are evil. I actually think that a lot of the majority of immigrants are good people, and they're just trying to come to the country to do what they want, but to have a better life. But I don't care about them having a better life.
It's not our problem. Dude, that's exactly my take. Asmongold's take is exactly my take. Do I think that they're all bad? No. I think a lot of them do want a better life, and I understand that. In fact, I think it's kind of it's honestly wanting a good result for your family so badly that you would do something like that. I honestly think it's somewhat it's understandable. It's understandable on a human level, but I don't really care because I got to look out for my own people first. So it's too bad. It's just too bad.
Not relevant to me. I don't give a shit. At the end of the day, they're not supposed to be here, and we have people here that don't have a better life, and I'd rather focus on them. It's that simple.
Anything you can tell us on that?
It's got nothing to do with that.
Yeah, we have reviewed one video that appears to be authentic, showing a bystander.
Because I'm not
and
12 years old.
He approaches one of these gunmen. These gunmen are dressed in black.
It's got nothing to do with that.
Yeah, we have reviewed one video that appears to be authentic, showing a bystander.
Because I'm not 12 years old.
He approaches one of these gunmen. These gunmen are dressed in black, and they are shooting indiscriminately into these crowds of people. And one of these bystanders hides behind the bumper of a car. And when the gunman is firing in a direction off to his left, the bystander approaches this gunman, wraps his arm around him, and pulls the gun.
I'll go back, and apparently we can look at this later on, but like he's explaining it. I would rather just show it myself. So take a look at this clip. This is nuts.
This is so crazy, yeah.
I believe we're...
Let me see where the clip is here. Yeah, watch this.
This is a wild clip.
With more, though. Thank you so much for your company.
So this is the shooter?
Look at this, dude. Look at this absolute Chad sneak attack,
this guy,
dude.
right? Watch this. Absolute fucking patriot here.
Yep.
And we will return with more.
He only made one mistake, is that he didn't finish the guy off. That was his only mistake.
So thank you so much for your...
So see, he's hiding right there. Watch.
But the thing is like, you know, hindsight is 2020. I'll explain it basically.
He moves up.
From this disaster, this dark day in
fucking
Australia's
grabs
history,
him.
We'll continue after this short break.
Gets the rifle, pushes him away. Should have shot him in the fucking head.
I fucking agree. So like, let me explain to you, right? So I'm gonna explain to you from both sides, okay? Okay. First off, so the reasons he should have shot him, all right, is because you don't know if he's still armed. He's clearly a bad actor. He's clearly not of a sane mind. He's clearly killing innocent people. Okay, didn't know how to use a gun. It's possible. It's possible. Yeah. It isn't easy thing to shoot anyone in the face as forbidden gabagool. I never said that was easy. So here's the reason he should have done it though. Okay, one, that guy who he took the gun from is clearly trying to kill other people. Second, the threat wasn't over, because if you watch the full video, there's still gunshots ringing out when he has them dead to rights, basically. Like, there's still gunshots happening, and you don't know if that guy has another gun. So you basically, and since you don't have control of the situation, you basically have to shoot him, in my opinion. And the thing there's many reasons that he might have not done it. One, laws, right? Because you would basically be putting yourself at risk, like in terms of legally, you would be legally putting yourself at risk to do that. Second, emotional damage to yourself. Third, he doesn't know how to use a gun, right? So there's like a bunch of reasons that he could have not done it, right? But here's the problem. Because he didn't do that, you want to know what happened? I watched the whole video. That guy got up, he walked back to like where his dad was, or I guess if he was the dad, he walked back to where his son was, picked up another gun and killed more people. And again, you could say that maybe hindsight was 2020, but I think that I think he should have done it. Basically, I think he should have.
God damn, that's the only thing I can criticize.
Yeah, exactly.
What a fucking legend.
Still a legend, though. Yeah, still
Balls
a legend.
of steel, absolutely. Oh my God, should have killed him. Absolutely.
And the reason why I say you should have killed him, and you're saying it's not easy to kill someone, it's not. But you have to do it to protect. Like, you have to do it to protect your people, right? Himself too. He has to do it to protect himself too, because he doesn't know if the other guy had a gun or something like that. He could have drawn a gun, like a handgun, like a concealed handgun. He could have drawn one and shot him. Basically, you don't want to give him that chance, especially when there's another active shooter.
Absolutely. He did shoot him. He's a pacifist. Big mistake. And can he immigrate to America? Yeah, that's who we need. Exactly.
You just saw there the video.
Dealing with the aftermath is not easy. It's not. Yes, it's not. It's not.
A little bit of clip
deserves.
Again, it's like what I said. Hindsight is 2020, right? We're giving the analysis of what happened. We're giving the analysis of what happened, like after all the cards are already revealed. It's hard to tell what card. You don't know, right? When it's in the moment. So me analyzing it right now is from perfect knowledge, where he didn't have perfect knowledge.
An award he does
about that has been circulating online.
He's a Muslim too, Giga Chad.
Well,
I said this before, I'll say it again. The main victims of the West's suicidal empathy towards radical Islam, the primary victims to the allowance of radical Islam, given a long enough timeline, will be regular average Muslims that just generally want to live their life. Not all Muslims are radical terrorists. There's a lot of them that just simply want to live in America because it's a better place. And also, a lot of the main Muslim countries, again, they are even harder on radical Islam than we are. They are. And all of these people are going to get grouped together. They are. And that's the main reason why it's important to not say that it's Islamophobia. The reason why is that all of Islam is not the same. If it was, then they wouldn't be killing each other all the time. But it is the same as Christianity. Christians have been killing each other forever. Muslims have been killing each other forever. They all interpret the book a little bit differently. So this, the premise of this is just immediately dismisses itself. Just think about it for 3 seconds. Shia and the Sunni hate one another. They do.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but it's a completely different argument. I don't really want to go into it.
Saudi Arabia is Sunni Muslim. The majority, I believe, of the countries are Sunni Muslim. And it looks like, I think, Iran and I don't know actually the other ones that are Shia Muslim. But yeah, classic religion wars. Yes, 100%.
The shooter firing on Australians, Jews celebrating Hanukkah on the beach, firing on them, and
so the entire encounter occurred on this bridge. So these guys were literally on this bridge for like at least 10 minutes just free firing. So like think about that for a moment. These dudes were free firing into a crowd with long rifles for like 10 minutes at least. It's super crazy. Like, yeah, it's super crazy.
Crouching behind a car.
And the thing is so here's a little bit of context. You can't see it, but this raised platform goes to like a street on this back side, and it's a full flank basically. Like if you're up on this street on the back, it's a full flank into their shooting position.
And tackling
absolutely
the shooter
fucking based.
And wrestling the gun away from the shooter.
Yep.
Yeah, and that report there, you could hear
more branches in Islam.
Sky
I know they are.
Reporter.
Like in the same way that like I only know like 2 or 3 branches in Islam, there's probably a lot of Muslims that only know 2 or 3 branches in Christianity, right? Of course, because it's not my default, right? In the same way that like Christianity might not be your default. But yeah, I get it.
Just the angst and the sorrow and the amount of emotion that the community in Sydney and Bondi Beach are feeling. It's just about 45 minutes after midnight.
You can see the layout more. Do you see what I mean? So how did the police not roll up into here and just shoot these guys off the flank? Or like even back here and then post up on these cars, shoot into the flank? How did that not happen? Like what's happening? And like you can hear the entire time, by the way, there's sirens going off. Like since the beginning of the video, you can hear sirens. So how is it possible that occurred?
Sydney
Our default build?
there.
Yeah.
And you did see that video, as you pointed out, Charlie, of this bystander. Trey alluding to, I am seeing reporting, Fox has not confirmed that
it was the cleanest fucking flank,
may also have been actually injured.
I bet he was injured.
To stop that.
He was.
That will be an interesting
no doubt.
Trey said
part of the story.
They will hopefully be able to track down that guy.
Yeah.
And we can give
by the way,
information
not just a
about
good Samaritan. That's a hero. That's an absolute hero.
That has the shooters have to know it ends with them getting killed, right? Well, that's the problem is that in a lot of religions, and Islam is one of them, there is a subset of that religion that says that basically if you die while trying to advocate for the proliferation, or if you die in service of the religion, you will go to whatever the afterlife is for that religion. So like whether this is a jihad, a crusade, some other bullshit from another religion I don't even know about, at the end of the day, if you have people that are subscribing to that ideology, you're going to have a problem.
Oh, you mean Valhalla? Isn't that where Charlie Kirk went in Valhalla?
Tackling the guy with the gun.
It's not true. It obviously is true. It's obviously true that a ton of people think that if they die in service of their religion, they're going to go to heaven. This is undeniable. You're retarded if you don't think this is an obvious reality that many people believe.
And the terrorist with the gun, like wrestling the gun
just
away.
that simple. Valhalla,
and then attempted to shoot at him, although he did.
This isn't a new idea.
He had escaped and then was captured after.
And this right
is
here.
coordinated. I mean, you had two guys. You had two men, we presume, as our last guest, Mary Eisen, said, came in a car and possibly had other weapons in the car.
And the footage we were just showing shows that pedestrian walkway that appears to go between over to that busy highway that our witness said.
Buddhism has
that
no,
people
I don't
had
know.
to flee across to get out of the line of fire. And that bridge, that elevated bridge right there, is where one of the suspects.
Do you guys see what I mean by this is the cleanest fucking flank ever? Like, they were literally posted on this right side of the bridge, and like, this is the cleanest flank ever. Like, from here, you just drive up your cop car to here, you set up here, and then you just shoot them. It didn't happen.
Was firing from, and then the other one had gone down, was on a grassy area along the beach, and that's where he got tackled. We've seen other video.
You're supposed to get 79 virgins.
Appears to be the shooter.
Yeah, you can get 72 or 79 virgins right now. All you have to do is become a moderator of a subreddit.
One of the shooters, perhaps the deceased.
You don't have to get killed for that.
Among,
you can live in paradise today.
Bridge.
You deserve paradise
leads
today.
you to think that that's probably the second shooter who is deceased, and the other one was maybe detained.
And you mentioned the logistics of the shooting.
Who lived? Who lived? Was it the son or the dad? Who lived?
Where it took place, someone who certainly knows a lot about understanding those things is Israeli Special Operations veteran Aaron.
Was the son the first one that got shot or the second?
Cohen, who joins
a big
us
gun.
now. Aaron, this was clearly, by admission by the Australian officials, a targeted attack. But speak to us
Seems that way.
about this target, Bondi Beach.
So there's a couple of things to unpack here. I agree and disagree with Miri on certain things, your previous guest. Here's where I'm at with this. I do believe that this was a lone wolf attack. I think these were lone wolves. But when we talk about lone wolves, we typically tend to picture isolated individuals who are acting on their own. And in reality, many of these so-called lone actors, guys, are not operationally directed, but they are ideologically
connected. Yeah, they're connected.
And encouraged and validated by America's enemies, our foreign adversaries.
It's just shut the fuck up, retard. It has nothing to do with America's allies or enemies or something like that. It has to do with radical groups on the internet that have crazy viewpoints.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, there's no reason to compartmentalize this problem into it being like an America good, everybody else bad situation. It's just stupid, it's reductive, it's misleading, and it's destructive.
I want to talk about Iran. They have been one of the most active state sponsors of this model, spiking our algorithm, tossing that rage bait up, hijacking that comment section. And so while you might have many peaceful, quiet Muslims...
That's why it was so awesome when on X they like actually made it so you can see from which country they're connected. Dude, the mask off was amazing.
I want to listen to this piece of shit. Actually, let's listen to him. But you know what? I probably should listen to him because I should call it out. What a disgusting fucking loser. He's a moron. Yes. No, it's not all rage bait. Like, this entire premise that people put out, that the reason why young people have lost credibility and lost interest in Israel is because of like some propaganda bullshit, is totally, it's not true. It's just simply not true at all.
Yeah, I agree.
Muslims who live in Australia, they don't need to task, Iran doesn't need to task an attacker.
Well, okay, so here's the funny thing is, actually, now that I think about it, it's kind of true, but not in the way you would think. It's the propaganda the other way that makes people go, oh, I don't know about that. That's why people don't like. I don't know if he's talking about just like people online not liking Israel, or if he's talking about radicals. I don't know who he's talking about. But the reason a lot of people don't like Israel is because of the other way. It's not the anti-Israel, like it's not. Well, I guess for some people it probably is, but it's a lot of the pro-Israel propaganda actually is what pisses people off, to be honest. Nicodemus, thank you so much. Thank you for the gift subs. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Nicodemus, for 5 over on Kick. Thank you. And thanks for the follow, Air. Thank you.
Directly, they just need to hand someone a weapon in that ideology and allow them to believe that it's okay to.
I think that he's right, but he's wrong in saying that it's Iran, like, unilaterally. I don't think that you need a global international conspiracy to come to the conclusion that radical extremist groups gas up members of their community to go out and influence and push their will. Like, you don't need to do that.
Attack Jews on Hanukkah.
You're blaming Iran. Yeah, what are we talking about?
This propaganda, amplifying the anti-Semitic narratives to glorify this violence and create that digital ecosystem where unstable and aggrieved individuals like these two shooters are nudged towards that action. And that's
what I hate about this guy is the fact that he's halfway completely right, and I think he's halfway completely wrong. I think that he's pushing the facts, but he's pushing them with a distorted viewpoint that paints them in a lens that I think is almost antithetical, directly oppositional to the way that things actually are.
Recruitment, and that's what I think
he's like partially right. Yeah,
I think we're seeing the same type of.
It definitely is international collaboration, though. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he's like kind of that's what Asmon means too. I think is that he's partially right. Yeah.
Behavioral, ideologically grievance.
But the problem is the problem in itself is not solved through the international means. The problem, we can solve it domestically.
Who the fuck is Leaflit?
And by putting all of the blame on like Iran or on whatever, you're taking away all of your agency to fix the problem, which is obviously something that we can do.
Motivated online, digitally influenced attack with the Brown shooter as well. That might not be Iran, but it's the internet that is driving these lone
Okay, there you go. Yeah, all right, now we're talking.
Wolves to that operational open fire stage. So that's where I'm at with the digital side of this thing with both of these.
Aaron, we want to play for you that video that we saw on Sky News that Charlie was just talking about. We now
pushing to conveniently
have truth. Show you this. So this is a video of a bystander, a good Samaritan, it appears, that you see coming from around the car. Seems to tackle the gunman there, and then as
he hadn't dead to rights here, but he walked away. So this guy, he had him. This guy ends up standing up and walking away, and then shooting more people.
He's sort of holding them off, and then just off to the right of your screen, there is apparently another of the attackers that
he literally just walks away.
May have shot this good Samaritan. But as you watch this video, what do you make of it?
Should have shot him.
Well, I saw a civilian taking action, moving from passive to reactive. Obviously, it looks like it was one of the guests. It looks like it could have been one of the Chabad members. I can't tell if he's got tzitzi or tatelim, or if he's a member of that particular gathering for Hanukkah at the beach there. But
who knows?
He moved into action. He's not reacting. He's not waiting. You know, when you've got two forces and one person is more aggressive. First of all, you had the element.
God, I hope he loves anime. I hope he loves anime, and he says that's what Himmel would do.
A surprise, came up around that vehicle, got on the individual, was able to strip the weapon away, may have some training, may not, but pushing action and being aggressive is the only way to deal with somebody who's actively engaging and firing a weapon. He took great risk to himself.
He did.
Didn't have to. That individual is a hero.
Yeah, especially when he knew that there was a second shooter. Like, the fact that the second shooter didn't prioritize killing this guy is actually crazy.
Absolutely, 100%.
It needs to be applauded.
Totally agree.
And saved who knows how
100%.
many dozens of lives because of what he did. So obviously, it's a very, very...
He was shot twice? Oh my God.
A big deal here. But guys, I want to talk about where we're at.
It's not even confirmed he was Muslim, by the way. No, as far as I know, I don't think that people know about that for sure or not.
All this stuff.
Yo, Rage, thank you so much for the host. Thank you. Thank you, Rage the Kobold on Kick. Thank you so much. Thank you. We're looking into the shooting situation.
In this reactive space, whether it's Australia, whether it's Brown, the problem here is that
we don't the Brown thing? Is that like another one that happened?
Have 2025 solutions, or we have 2005 solutions for 2025 threats. We've got all of this digital. We've got all of these adversaries, Iran, China, CCP, making everybody absolutely...
Did another one happen today while I was asleep?
Nuts online.
This guy's just advocating indirectly for internet censorship. He's just a retard. There's no reason why this is like, there's like, and also like you can see that he doesn't really want to remove propaganda. He wants to remove disagreeable propaganda. So, you know, I'm sure from his viewpoint, if there's something that's pro-Israel, that's okay. But if it's pro-China, it's not. In my opinion, if you can't win people over in the free marketplace of ideas, you've got to find out why. Because until you can do that, you're going to have problems.
And we have to start getting in front of these threats. This reactive model is getting people killed.
It is.
The only way to get in front
of the solution?
80% of these attacks. The only way to get in front.
Is it a cop with a gun at the actual place? That's a taser, not a gun?
It is. What's the solution?
80% of these attackers leak online. The only way to get in front of these threats is to make sure that law enforcement is.
Whenever you find it out, you just find the person and you put them in jail. That's it. You put them in a mental institution.
How's it going,
and it's
by the
like
way,
when you're
Rich?
posting about shooting people, this is weird. You're gonna go to a mental institution. Problem solved. Like there's no reason. Like there's no reason that we as a society have to tolerate anybody. Like there's no universe where saying that you're going to go out and commit a mass murder event is something that our society should tolerate for any reason. Like my viewpoint is that if somebody's out there on social media saying that, we just go arrest them and we put them in a mental institution indefinitely. Maybe we need to shock the shit out of them, drug the shit out of them, lobotomize them.
They could give Hassan a job. Oh my God. That could be Frogan's new job. And Caseytron. And then like Hassan could be their boss. It'd be like a dream come true.
But at this point, that person is a danger to the rest of society. And I don't want to live in a world where I have to be worried that one of these like crazy retarded animals is going to fly off the fucking handle and start shooting people. It's at best, it's mental illness. Yeah. And no matter what, they don't need to be in public. There'll be enough spaces. Those people, the internet's wild. I think that you'd really be surprised. I think that the moment that we start actually locking these people up, it's going to go down by like 99%. Because most people don't want to get locked in a box. Freedom of speech, though, freedom of speech was never and is never
intended for it's physical threats.
Whenever you're talking about I'm going to go out and kill a bunch of people, that's not freedom of speech. That's not the way it works.
Because at that point, you're basically you're putting people into a position where they have to fear for their life specifically. Yeah, because you're making an implicit threat against them.
That's never been the way it works.
This intelligence upstream.
Like obviously you can't like run into a place and just say like I put a bomb in here, and then when people freak out, you're just kidding, guys, freedom of speech. Oh, silly me. That was me using freedom of speech again. Like obviously you can't do that.
We need to be looking at models like Gideon, my platform, so we can get
it's a call to action.
Enforcement that pre-attack guys. Yep. Every one of these attackers leak online. We need to start finding the signal. That's where I come out with all this.
So a lot of people that bad-faced arguments is why things never get better. Ban them. I probably should. At very least, they should be investigated and analyzed. I can imagine an edgy teenager or a kid saying things for clout or a bad joke or just a hyperbolic rant. Hyperbolic rants and here's a great example. How many kids nowadays, how many people call 911 or 911 just as a prank call? Basically none. Basically none unless they're doing like a swatting. Like kids don't do that anymore. And do you know why? It's because the consequence for doing that is so severe that they're afraid to.
Yep.
That's the reason why. Consequences and rules inform behavior. And if you understand that, you can just simply change behavior. Because you just create a consequence.
And this applies for everything, even on a global level. Like we talked about earlier. About how you could achieve peace if you tell them, like, you know, if you fuck around and you cross this line, you will 100% find out. And there is no, in fact, you're going to find out on principle. Even if you do it and you say, oh, I'm sorry, it was just a joke, doesn't matter. You're still going to find out.
That is so bad, so dangerous that nobody will fuck with it.
Aaron, I think he's more talking about like people doing it from landlines, things like that.
When you look at that video,
I don't think people even have landlines anymore.
The shooter, you see the gun that he's using.
I think everyone uses like voice over IP now. Thank you for the follow. Thank you.
Obviously, Australia has had one of the most aggressive programs in the world for confiscating weapons from civilians, from regular citizens.
It doesn't matter if you take people's weapons away. People will be able to 3D print guns now, and they can already do it. They've been able to do it for a long time. But soon, whenever we have the technology and it gets even better, people will be able to 3D print guns, and the entire idea of gun control is going to go away. That's just what's going to happen. I mean, it's already happening, and it's just you think 3D printers and this type of technology is just like it's going to stop being good? It's crazy.
What can you tell us from looking at that video about the weapons, or at least this weapon that we're seeing here that were used by these attackers?
Anything's easy to do.
My camera's just over here, and I'm looking at the
Probably
footage.
harder to do bullets, but it doesn't matter.
I see shotguns.
They'll
First
figure
of all,
out a
there's
way.
multiple weapons that were brought to the scene here. I looked at some of the shell casings that were on the ground at the bridge. It looked like it was some 30-06. I saw some shotgun shells, some 12 gauge.
Why not regulate 3D printers, bro? Do you remember what I was saying the other day about how, like, this is going to be dumb? Do you remember, like, I was talking about Ashes of Creation, and I was talking about how whenever you have to create 7 different layers and levels of systems in order to regulate one type of behavior, maybe you should think to yourself, we should try to get rid of that behavior rather than try to constantly micromanage it.
Yep.
I think that's a great example of it.
Especially since it's really affecting, again, rules only affect law-abiding people anyway, so it's
So you create a Russian nesting doll of problems, regulations, rules, controls, and everything like this. Whenever the real problem,
and you fuck all of the freedom over for people that are law-abiding good people, and then people who are bad find other ways to commit the same crime.
Is crazy people that are causing problems. It doesn't matter how many barriers of entry you put, you're going to still have crazy people causing problems at the core, and they will just find a new way to cause problems. It's the same as, like, now they're trying to ban sharp knives, sharp pointed knives in the UK. At what point do you realize that maybe the problem is the people and not the items?
Guys, I saw chat, a little bit of a tangent. I saw a knife gacha. Should I buy it? Should I buy it, chat? $100 knife gacha. Should we do a knife gacha unboxing? Yeah? No? Hell yeah. Do you have a permit for that knife? I'm not from the United Kingdom, so I don't need one.
It's crazy. Do you think the act of genocide could be the cause of anti-Semitism instead of inflammatory online rhetoric? I think that the genocide does have a big factor. I think it does play a big role, but it does so in a way that's not justifiable. Like, basically any violence or hostility to American or Australian Jews.
Is Rage from the UK? I actually don't know where Rage is from. I actually don't know.
The actions of Israel is equivalent to violence or hostility towards American or Australian Arabs because of 9/11. The fact is that Jews and
it's like Cuckaphonistan. Wisconsin? Oh, nice. Do you eat cheese?
Arabs, Muslims, and Jewish people.
Wisconsin makes good cheese curds.
Are simply not a monolith. They don't have like a Discord that they're all in, and they're like, okay, we're blowing it up tomorrow morning.
Culver's,
right?
I love Culver's, dude. Culver's is my favorite fast food. Culver's makes the best burgers. Like, the Culver's Deluxe Butter Burger is the best fast food burger. It's not even close.
Don't go to school tomorrow. We're blowing it up. That's not.
Damn, I want Culver's, but it's fucking late. Damn it. All the Culver's are closed.
A Discord that they're all in, and they're like, okay, we're blowing it up tomorrow morning, right? Don't go to school tomorrow. We're blowing it up. That's not the way it works. So, yes, obviously Israel's actions have radicalized people in the same way that I think China, apparently COVID came from.
I get the deluxe butter burger. That's what I get. It's just the regular double butter burger, but it has like tomato and onion and lettuce.
China. I think that radicalized people against Asians to a degree. And I think that whenever 9/11 happened, people hated Muslims and they hated Arabs. But all three of these examples are basically systematic discrimination. And while it exists, it should not be seen as a good thing.
I don't
you see my point is, right? Like, your argument is it's valid, but like, we shouldn't look at it as like it's true, but it's stupid.
Casings. There was multiple weapons that were brought. There were also
White Castle. The problem with White Castle, I'll tell you the problem with White Castle. The problem is the frozen White Castle tastes exactly the same as the regular White Castle. Like I remember like eating frozen White Castles and I was like, wow, these are so good. I can't wait to go to the regular White Castle. And I finally went to a regular White Castle. I ordered like the sliders. I ate it. I was like, wait, this is exactly like the frozen ones. It's like exactly the same. It's like, what the fuck am I doing here, you know?
Dump pouches that were brought so that these guys could keep firing and reloaded. And it sounds like there was 50 or 60 shots that were taken. This was
no, it's good. It's good. It's not bad. White Castle's not bad. It's just you could buy the frozen ones at the supermarket and it tastes the same. You just make it at home. It tastes exactly the same cooked from frozen. So it's like, why would I go to the actual store when I could just have them in the freezer and then anytime I want it, I just throw in the microwave?
Meditative. These guys were taking their time. They were there to murder. And when I look at all the weapons that are spread out here, what it tells me from the weapons side here is that Australia, while it has some of the strictest gun laws in the world, shotguns, hunting shotguns or sports shotguns are also difficult to get, but they're a little bit easier. But it tells you that these guys are going to get whatever weapons they can. Right.
You can't stop people from getting guns. And also, like, even if you stop people from getting guns, you can't stop them from getting something else that they can kill people with, like a car.
Yep.
You have to address the
like if they took a truck and then they just drove up on here and went full speed into people, they'd kill a bunch of people still.
Disease and not the symptoms.
Outlawing weapons is not going to keep these guys from opening fire. And whether they're loading shotguns and they're pumping, and it's tough to tell from the video, the fact is they're still able to get weapons even though it's restricted. So it just goes to show you the laws don't work. Yeah. But thank God that guy was able to jump on that weapon and stop that shooter.
I think that it's undeniable that if we had gun control laws as strict as Australia, I think that our gun deaths would go down. And I think that Republicans and right-wing people have a really stupid argument because it's obvious that if you get rid of a lot of the guns, you're going to have more people killing each other.
Hold on.
It goes to show you the laws
I want to hear the whole argument.
But thank God that guy was able to jump
here's something I can actually talk about.
On that weapon and stop that shooter.
I think that it's undeniable that if we had gun control laws as strict as Australia, I think that our gun deaths would go down. And I think that Republicans and right-wing people have a really stupid argument because it's obvious that if you get rid of a lot of the guns, you're going to have less people killing each other with guns. This is undeniable. But and here's the problem is that
I'm gonna let him finish.
It's true that people will die if you allow people to have guns. But I think it's better for that to happen than for people to not have guns.
That's actually a fair argument. No, that's fair. No, guys, that's actually a fair argument. That's a fair argument.
That should be the viewpoint that people have.
Totally fair.
Rather than this fake world where, oh, well, the amount of guns don't have any sort of a factor.
Well, okay, so there is a caveat there, right? Is that it's hard to quantify the amount of people that are saved from guns. Right. So you would have to have the data for the amount of people that are the amount of violent incidents that are resolved from a person having a gun in the first place via brandish, via, like a standoff or something like that. There are cases where there are a lot of cases actually of people using guns in self-defense. So you would have to calculate, that would have to be a part of your calculation of if his calculation is X amount, like more people would be dead, then more people would be dead. More people would be dead because of guns. You would have to like also factor in the people that didn't die because they used the gun to protect themselves.
On the amount of shootings with guns, obviously it does. Obviously that's going to happen.
And yes, what Trapper Scout says, it would increase the amount of deaths from other things. Yes, that is true.
The Charlie Kirk take, yeah, and this is the way you easily can. Yeah, I prefer no guns. I mean, in my opinion, I'm a big Second Amendment enjoyer. I think the Second Amendment is great, and I think that people should be able to own a gun for self-defense. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, should there be a background check and other regulations? Of course, but from an ideological perspective, that's what I think. And so, yeah. Bro said prefer no guns like a woman. Well, the thing is that women are the biggest victims of not having guns.
Yep.
If you're a woman and a guy wants to take advantage of you, unless you have a gun, it's going to happen.
So fucking true.
That's just the way it is.
Yep.
It's because men are bigger and stronger and faster than women.
Uh-huh.
And women are sitting ducks compared to a man.
Yup.
That's just how it is.
That's why I carry a gun. I really feel it too. It's kind of funny because sometimes like there have been cases I'd have to go outside without a gun, and that would be like a case where I have to go to a gun-free zone, where I have to go to a gun-free zone, and then like I would, you know, it's kind of, it becomes a little complicated as to like whether or not you bring the gun or not if you have to go to one of those. And in those cases, I definitely feel it sometimes where like I have this realization that like if something happened to me, there's nothing I could do about it. Whereas when I have a gun, I'm empowered to be able to defend myself. There's like a very drastic difference. And I don't know if men experience this as well, but I'm telling you that I do, basically.
He got the weapon, and I have no idea, but just looking at that footage, it looked like maybe he didn't know how to use the weapon because you see him just sort of struggling and not really shooting at the guy. So that's another issue that we can talk about.
I mean, the other thing you could consider here is maybe the fact, I mean, the people that died at this event, less of them probably would have died if they had guns like Texas does. Because people would have shot them basically, like while they were shooting. There's no way they would get away with that amount of sustained fire in like Texas. In fact, it wouldn't even be an issue of like, well, do people have handguns? No, people would have went to their cars and pulled out rifles. Like people in Texas have fucking full rifles in their, like full ARs, like kitted out ARs in their trucks, and like a person would walk up to their truck, pull out like a fucking pull out a rifle with like an EOTech with a magnifier on it, and we'll fucking blow that guy out. The guy that was on the bridge.
Agreed. Either that or he chose not to take his life, unlike the Islamist terrorist who opened fire on these thousands of people or hundreds of people on the beach. So either it was a moral decision to not end his life and let God sort that out.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. He should just shot him in the head. Everybody would be better off if that guy was dead. Like
what did he say? What did he say?
To not end his life and let God sort that out. Either it was a moral decision to not end his life and let God sort that out.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. He should have shot him in the head. Everybody would be better off if that guy was dead.
More people would be alive if he did that. Yeah, it's true. He could have saved more people, but I mean, you know, again, hindsight, right? Hindsight, and it's a complicated calculation. Because the guy is probably not only thinking about, oh God, do I have what it takes to kill a person? Do I know how to use this rifle? Am I going to get fired at? These are all things he's probably thinking. And you have to understand, like, if you haven't thought these things like ahead of time, this isn't like fucking a video game where you can hit pause and be like, or it's like you're playing tabletop. You're like, well, guys, what should we do here? So like, I got the gun from the guy, and I'm in this position. You guys think I should double heavy attack him? What do you guys think? I don't know. What do you think? It's not like that. Like he is getting shot at the same time. Does he know how to use the gun? Does he have the resolve to end a person's life? Does he have the double heavy attack mentality? And second, he's probably thinking about his family. Okay, what if I shoot this guy? And then what? Am I going to go to trial now? Am I going to have to deal with, some fucking asshole judge, some fucking asshole prosecutor coming after me, and what, that's going to be like 3 days? Like, I saw what happened to Rittenhouse. Like, do I really want to be a part of that? Like, am I really going to deal with shooting this guy and then having to go to court and put my family through that and all my financial resources toward that and the stress that I'm going to have to deal with? What if I get locked away? Are my loved ones going to be taken care of? Like, all of this fucking shit is like, it's important, right? Yeah, and then civil suits. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's so much to think about in that case. So again, hindsight is 20/20. From our position, from our comfortable position, it's easy to say you should have fucking shot him, right? But for a person who's a layman, like a person that's not like, doesn't have the double heavy attack mentality, it is pretty hard to make that decision, I think. So I think he did his best. Does that make sense? I think he did his best. And like, I understand that he wouldn't want to do that. By the way, the rifle uses a Beretta BRX, straight up pull bolt action with a red dot. Damn, that's crazy. We're on his shoes, and what he did was heroic. Yeah, what he did was heroic for a layman, basically, right? I feel like a guard dog dude would have fucking did it, though. If you had a dude who like lives like a guard dog mentality, the fucking double to heavy attacks mentality, would have shot him like instantly. I really think so.
Like, I don't believe any of this moral bullshit. The guy's a fucking parasite. He's a mass murderer. If somebody just shot him in the head, the world would be a better place instantaneously. We don't need these people. None of this like, oh, well, God has to make that decision. Well, he's going to. After you kill him, maybe he goes to heaven or hell. It's crazy. Would you shoot? I don't like saying the answer is yes, because I think that it's such an emotional, serious thing that a person saying that they would do that is, like, in my opinion, talking shit, because it's like so serious and so real that I wouldn't really want to say yes. But like theoretically,
it's difficult. It's difficult to do if you haven't worked through this previously. So like, I'll tell you the reason I would shoot him. The reason I would shoot him has nothing to do with like the morality behind shooting him. It has nothing to do with I'm gonna protect everyone attitude. It has nothing to do with that. I would shoot him purely on threat assessment. I would shoot him purely on like, he might have another gun. I'm gonna get shot at. I tackled this guy in order to take his gun so that I won't die. Me and my loved ones, like, maybe my mom's with me, so me and my mom won't die. So I have to kill him right now. It's like the only option to maximize survival for myself and my immediate friends and family. That would be the calculation. That's why I would shoot him.
Like, if I was in a clear...
It's not like I'm trying to be a hero. I want to be a hero and I want to take the guy out because I want to save people. No, I want to save myself. Does that make sense?
Would I shoot them? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I would hope everybody else in the whole world made the same decision I would. So real that I wouldn't really want to say yes, but like theoretically, like if I was in a clear mind, would I shoot them? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I would hope everybody else in the whole world made the same decision I would.
Or it was he couldn't fire the weapon, or it was out of ammo.
But I think it's easier said than done.
Right.
Much easier said than done.
Thanks, Aaron.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian. So anyway, apparently they already knew.
Yeah, and again, like I say this all the time, but if you carry a gun, you have to like work through the philosophy of it before it ever happens. Because what happens is if you don't sit down and consider like your flow chart for like how things are going to go and like what checks have to be cleared for you to pull the trigger. If you don't think of that ahead of time, then when it does happen, you're gonna deer in headlights. You're just gonna be like, I don't know what to do. It has to be like automatic, basically. Like you have to I already thought about this. Okay, like boom, 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 boom. This is what I'm gonna do, basically. Like this is the flow chart. Okay, he did this. Okay, I do this, basically. You have to think about it ahead of time. What are you guys talking about? Wait, what's going on? Are you guys talking? Are you guys saying it's immoral to kill the guy? Wait, what? What's happening? What is happening? Of course it's not immoral. It's not, no. There's no world in which it's immoral to kill that guy. Absolutely not. No. In fact, it's the freest moral kill ever, I'd say. It's moral in so many ways. It's moral not only to protect other people. It's moral not only to protect other people from evil, but you're also in a position of self-defense. So there's literally, it's not even like a case where you're like, oh, this guy is shooting up a mall. Do I engage? I'm already outside of the mall. Do I like get my gun and then like walk back into the fire to like engage the person? That's like a completely different, like that would have its own level of calculations that you'd have to make. The reason this one is free is because you yourself and your loved ones are in immediate danger, like right now. Like right now, like you can get shot by the other guy. That guy could pull out another gun. You don't know. This guy is so crazy that he's killing innocent people. You have to assume that he would kill you, basically. So it's free. It's the freest moral kill, I think, in existence. I can't even think of another case, basically, that would be. I can't think of a case that would be more moral than that, I think.
Who the guy was. And this is what's crazy. He was already known.
True. You can argue it's immoral to not. Yeah. That's the main one you can argue against, honestly, was it moral for him to not finish him off?
See, it's not just our FBI, guys. They already knew it. That's crazy.
Wait, involuntary, if shooting a mass shooter to save people is immoral, the involuntary manslaughter laws in the U.S. disagree. No, there's no way this would be involuntary manslaughter. There's no way. The reason why is because he's an active shooter. There's another active shooter. You don't have the time to determine whether or not this guy is gonna kill you. He already has intent to kill. So it is a very clean, in my opinion. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm not a lawyer. Don't listen to my legal advice. Go ask some I don't know, go ask the attorneys on retainer or something like that. But if I had to bet, I'd say that it's pretty clean. It's pretty clean self-defense in this case. Ask legal mindset. No, don't ask legal mindset. No. Don't ask legal mindset. Ask attorneys on retainer. They would have a better idea of whether or not it's self-defense. I don't think legal mindset knows about self-defense law.
Shoot to kill or incapacitate. Kill instantly. It's a murderer. It's a psychopath murderer that's opened up fire on a group of random people for no reason. He should be dead. Incapacitate, then you've got to take care of him.
Yep.
So
well, not only that, incapacitation doesn't eliminate the threat completely. You don't shoot to incapacitate. You never do that. In fact, saying that you shoot to incapacitate, actually, that one will actually get you fucked in court. To be honest, if you say, "Oh yeah, I shot to incapacitate a threat," that would get you in trouble in court. It's worse. It's worse for your case actually, because that means that you actually weren't as pressured. You weren't as pressured to actually eliminate the threat. That you had the time and the resources to actually go for you had the AP basically to go for a disable, but then you still shot them. Yeah.
Listen in to the very latest from Sky News in Australia right now.
This man sneaks up on one of the gunmen and wrestles the firearm away.
It's the most unbelievable scene I've ever seen. A man walking up to a gunman who had fired on the community and single-handedly disarming him. That man is a genuine hero.
Disarmed, the man retreats back to the walkway where the second gunman continues to fire. A shootout with police unfolds and the two men fall to the ground. These images show the men restrained with one receiving CPR.
Got him.
The threat contained after just a few minutes, but bodies...
Honestly, I feel like resuscitating the guy with CPR was honestly kind of based, because I think that all the victims basically deserve to see this guy get fucking smoked.
Of victims are left covering the ground, where moments earlier an event to mark the first night of Hanukkah was taking place.
He died? Well, I thought he lived. Oh, the other guy didn't get CPR'd? One of them lived. Okay, one lived.
This is when I get banned for saying that. If I get banned for saying that I would kill somebody that's a mass shooter, or I would advocate for it, then I don't know what to say.
True.
I think this is a normal viewpoint that every normal person has.
Yep, 100%.
It is. It's obvious.
You'd have to be absolutely fucking cocked to not think that. Like, if you actually think that, like, you need to rethink like your priorities, and like you need to do a little bit of this. You know, you need to take a look at this this thing I have for you. I got a little thing for you. Where did I put that? Where did I put that? I really should have it like on a speed. I should have that shit on like just ready to go all the time. Yeah, I'll just download it again, I guess. You need to reconsider this, you know? You need to think about this for a moment, and this might be you over here on the right. You know, it might be you. Red Dragon, thank you for the bits. I don't know if this is extreme, but why we can't simply hang all those terrorists in public so no one dares do it again? You can make an argument that it's not good for humanity to see that. That would be the argument. It's not good for the soul of humanity to like watch public executions. That's what you could say. I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Yes.
How can you prove that? Well, the idea would be that it would be bad to glorify watching death. Would be the argument. Is that the idea that that we should make a spectacle of death? Would be the argument? Yeah.
There were bullets all around me. All I can do is screaming, where's my family? Where's my little girl? Where's my little girl? I saw her dancing for a second and she was gone. I actually had a police officer drag me out. He was shot in the head.
And then once the shooting stopped, I went out, tried to help people. I was just covering bodies because there was people dead.
I can assure the community it will be met with a massive, comprehensive police and public order response.
Why you always lying? Oh my!
Wait, what did he say? What did he say?
Order. Assure the community it will be
just covering bodies because there was people dead.
I can assure the community it will be met with a massive, comprehensive police and public order response.
Why you always lying? Bullshit. Oh my! Shut the fuck up.
Our heart bleeds for Australia's Jewish community tonight.
With multiple investigations now underway, both New South Wales Police and Australia's security agency ASIO have confirmed one of the shooters was known to them.
One of the
guys, look at the title of the look at the title of the stream. Look at the title. Look at the title. Oh, hey, Johan's here. What's up, Johan? Damn, I haven't seen you in a while, Johan. How's it going, man? Dude, look at that. Look at the title.
Who the fuck is Leaflit? Okay.
These individuals was known to us, but not in an immediate threat perspective. So obviously we need to look into what happened.
Thanks, Chirpoko, for the bits. Let's me fact check that. The chart shows the maximum limit of indication of moral allocation. It's not a heat map. Don't care about their family, but please don't use the chart without knowing the context. The chart shows the maximum limit of indication. Well, I mean, I don't even really care about what the study is in regards to the chart, Chirpoko. It's the sentiment. It's basically a sentiment, and we all know it's true.
Well, what does that mean?
It's obvious. Even if you were to, I don't even need to look at the study to know that it's true. Nobody has to. It's like, it's so obvious by just the mentality and just how people act on the right and the left.
Oh, how? So you knew about him, but wait a second. So, wait, what?
As part of the investigation and shortly after the shooting occurred, police located a vehicle in Campbell Parade at Bondi, which we believe has several improvised explosive devices. We have our rescue bomb disposal unit there at the moment working on that.
Hold on, wait. Wasn't I swear there was I read this at one point. Wasn't it actually point allocated on one of them? I swear it was. As in, like, there was a maximum amount of points that they had to give. Okay, hold on, Chirpoko. I don't know what you're talking about because I literally read the article. I literally read it right now, and it's exactly what I'm talking about. It's literally what I'm talking about. Did you read it? Did you read 3A and 3B of the study? So what is it? What does 3A? What does 3A say about this? So what does 3A say, Chirpoko? What does it say? What does it say that you think it's not what it says? Because I was like, I swear I read this before. So I was like, So I was like, am I getting gaslit right now? So I went to go read it again. Oh, okay. So you're backtracking a bit then, Chirpoko. So you're not saying it's wrong. You're not saying that the study was like. You're not saying that the conclusion is wrong. You're saying that it's the wrong sample size. You didn't think I'd look it up, did you? You didn't think I'd go and actually read it again, did you? So here's the thing. Okay, so one of the things that people were worried about, right, was, well, this is what people bring up a lot, and this is what I've heard before, right? People will bring up that they'll say, well, that's not how it works in real life because you don't have a constrained number. So in the first study, right, in 3A, right, they gave people a limited pool of care. So like, imagine if they had like a care bucket. They had a care bucket, right? And they said, this is how much care you have in your care bucket. So pour the care bucket across these things, right? Being like, yourself, your family, going out from you, right? All the way into like non-human shit, like the planets and the universe. And so they were asked to pour, basically, they again, I'm making an illustration of it, but they were given a care bucket of a finite amount and they had to put it into what they cared about. And so what happened was the people who are more conservative hoarded the care bucket and poured more of it into the closer circles to yourself, right? Police. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I just want to. Okay. Oko, thank you so much for the raid. Sorry, I'm gonna do this really fast. Thank you so much for the raid, Oko, and thank you, Rage. Rage. EX Count for the raid as well, and thank you, Arundel, for the raid over on Twitch. Thanks for all the raids, you guys. I'm so sorry. Give me a second because I'm gonna lose my train of thought, and I don't want to lose my train of thought. So bucket. Okay, so we're talking about this thing here, this thing. Okay, so in the study, basically, they gave them a finite amount of care. So it was a certain amount that they had in the bucket, in their care bucket, right? And so what happened was conservatives poured that care bucket in the circles that were closer to themselves. And then the liberals poured that bucket more, they distributed it more towards the outside, further from the self. Okay. And so what happened was the disagreement was actually, that's not fair because you don't actually have, what if you don't have a finite amount of care? Couldn't you care about everything? So what happened was they gave an infinite care bucket. And even in the case in study 3B, where there was an infinite amount of care bucket, it was still the same. So even in the case that people say, well, I mean, that's not how care works. You can care about everything equally. Even in that case, they still heat mapped exactly the same. So how is that possible? So how is that wrong? I'm just curious. Like, what were you trying to say? You're trying to say that it's it's the maximum limit of indication of moral allocation. It's not a heat map that people misrepresent that they don't care about their family. No, well, it doesn't mean they don't care about their family. It just means that they have less, that they allocate less of their care to it. That doesn't mean that you hate your family necessarily or that you don't care about them at all. It just means that you're more willing to put the care into other things. Am I wrong? That's what the study says. I can't read it any other way, really. The reason I said that is a multitude of people from both sides misinterpreting it like crazy. I'm glad you're reading it correctly. Well, I mean, who's misinterpreting it incorrectly? Because that's the interpretation I've heard from everybody. Is that wrong? That's always been the interpretation of this heat map. And then you told me that not to use the chart without reading the context. So I went and read it again to make sure I wasn't taking it out of context, but it was it's literally what I said, right? I mean, the main reason I went to go like make sure is because I've heard this before. I've heard people say this as well. What you said, I mean, what you said, I've heard people say that before. So I went to go look at it because I wanted to make sure, obviously, right? That was the what was that? Where was that? Fuck, I just read that. The highest value, basically. It indicates the highest value that people applied, basically. So like the highest points given were 12, basically. This is the test in which they were the test in which the points were finite. So the points in which they were finite, basically. So basically the maximum amount of points that were given to any individual thing was 12, typically. That's what it says here. The highest value on the heat map scale is 20 units for liberals and 12 units for conservatives, meaning that liberals actually put more. Like the ones that are red is actually higher, the points, because so they're not, the color of the heat map is not quite the same. Basically, the red on the liberal one indicates a higher level of points allocated. So actually, you can even use that to say it's even crazier than the heat map. That's actually worse than the heat map shows. And that you would have to use a different color, basically. You have to use a completely different color. Basically, the color of the heat map is relative to each individual graph. So you retract, right? Sure, Poco. Just we don't have to like go into this more, right? Like you agree? What is Johan talking about? Yes, I retract. I need to reread this. Okay, fair enough. Good shit. What are you talking about, Johan? Notice you don't give a fuck about violence. Wait, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, Johan? Who's Johan? Johan's an old friend. I haven't seen him around in a while. He's probably busy with life and stuff. We used to play games together. Gun debate. Pro Aussie gun ban. Okay, I can see Johan going crazy on that one. Yeah, Johan loves guns. So Johan's definitely going to defend it. Anyway, I'll let you guys fight in chat. I'm going to keep watching the video.
Should not live in this terror. And tonight I was at an event where I was saying to members of the Jewish community,
they're always known. Yeah.
Isn't it?
And that's the point, right? Is that, again, if they knew this guy was a problem, why was he out there doing this stuff? Why was he even out of jail to begin with?
Isn't it great that we are ending the year on a high after such a devastating start to the year?
It's going to get even worse next year. It's going to get even worse.
And here we are.
An attack on Jewish Australians is an attack on every Australian.
Obviously.
And every Australian tonight will be, like me, devastated on this attack.
There's a protected class. Yeah, that's the thing. Is it until people remove the shackles?
Dude, can you imagine what would happen if he said like me Jewish? Oh my God, bro.
There's a protected class. Yeah, that's the thing. Is
dude,
it until
the conspiracies
people remove
would
the
be
shackles
crazy.
of an ideology and vocabulary that's made to subvert their power and subvert their autonomy and subvert their safety, until people can hear the words, oh, Islamophobic and racist, and laugh at them, until that happens, we're going to continue having these shootings. We're going to continue having these problems. It's because people still are allowing themselves to be governed by emotional messaging.
Yeah.
The moment that we stop allowing ourselves to be governed and controlled by emotional messaging is the moment that you can take back your country and you can hold people accountable. Now, in my opinion, if the police knew this guy was problematic and they didn't do anything, I find it to be very hard to like go after people retroactively. But I would definitely be the kind of person that if the police let somebody like this go and then they did something bad, I would have charged the police and the people that made that decision with being an accessory to the crime and put them in jail too.
Damn.
I think that there's so much.
Also, I just want to properly say thank you so much, Oko. Thank you, EX Count. Thank you, Arundel, for the hosts. I really appreciate it, you guys. Thank you. Did we get you guys shout outs already? Here, let's just do it. Thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate it. Oh, all right. Arundel already got one too. All right. Thank you.
Suicidal empathy and narcissistic pathological empathy.
Sorry, I'm kind of retarded. Like, I can't think about two things at the same time. And what I was thinking about was a little bit complicated. So I was like in the middle of like explaining a point about a scientific paper. So I had to go all in, you know. I can't run two programs at the same time.
It's being given to these terrorist animals.
Not enough rat. It's expensive. It's expensive, Corey Kitsune. It's expensive.
That's being given to these terrorist animals and not the actual people that are the victims. That we need to put the people that are
not
allowing
very woman
them
of you.
to.
Well, it depends. If it's like cooking, I can do multiple things at the same time. If it's like cooking, but if it's like philosophy or like some kind of analysis of something, then I can't do two things at the same time.
To be terrorist animals also in jail. We need to go even farther. Common sense, exactly. Criminal negligence, 100%. Karenocracy is the ultimate form of bloated bureaucracy. Yeah, especially when there's clear evidence that they'll do it again. Yes. How are you going to predict what they're going to do? Simple. Somebody's talking about killing everybody, just put them in jail. Yep, put them in a mental institution right there. Problem solved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's easy. What do you mean?
On our way of life.
For now, Australia's terror threat level remains unchanged at probable.
I don't see that changing at this.
National Terrorism Threat Advisory System. Jesus Christ.
Stage. Probable means there is a 50%.
What if they're joking? So I'm just going to pull this up and let's do a little bit of thinking. What if they're joking? Do people joke about killing the president? They don't really, do they?
Only the whitest kids you know would do that. Only they would do it in a serious way. Well, this is even really serious. I don't know.
I do. I don't really think so. I very rarely see somebody please no ban. Callbacks, not in public. Yeah, exactly. Not in public. Yeah, Cheezer did. I don't know what Cheezer said. I'd have to go back and see. I think that in general, people do not threaten the president. I don't see a lot of people that are making comments about killing the president on social media. The reason why is because they know that if they do that, they will be arrested. That's the reason why. And so I think that if you put a consequence out there, the people are going to stop behaving this way.
Chance of
They do it a lot. What is he talking about? Well, there's not as many people because the people that do it are kind of like very teehee about it. Like they don't say it outright. Do you know what I mean? Like they don't say it like in plain words. Does that make sense?
Act of terror, and unfortunately,
it's not an acceptable joke. Yeah, you just tell them they can't do it.
It doesn't matter what you call it. It's hate, and it's got to stop, and we have to stop it in its tracks in every way that we can.
Let me be clear. We will eradicate it. Amidst this vile act of violence and hate will emerge.
No, you won't.
It's kind of like this skit from the Whitest Kids You Know. It's like this, basically.
The reason why is because they know that if they do that, they will be arrested. That's the reason why.
This one right here. Yeah, it's so old. I miss when the internet was funnier.
Moment of national unity, violence and hate will emerge.
No, you won't.
A moment of national unity where Australians across the board will embrace their fellow Australians of Jewish faith at this dark...
Wait, he's dead? Wait, he's dead, really? Wait, why? What happened? What happened? He fell off a balcony? What the fuck?
Moment for our nation.
An enormous police and...
Did he talk shit about Epstein? Wait, what the fuck?
Ambulance response, so rarely seen at this scale in Australia, continues into the night. Cameron Redden's Sky News.
Yeah, how do you know that one of these shooters is out there doing this and not doing anything about it?
Mark on our nation's history, and it is a day that will mean that Bondi is forever changed. I want to bring Alex Thomas, my colleague at Sky, back for more now. I mean, Alex, I just had a message from a friend actually who's not Jewish, but he said this isn't just an attack on Jewish Australians, this is an attack on Australia. So everyone's feeling it.
Yeah, and Australia's got a certain reputation across the globe, and I feel like as someone who's been living and working here for the last couple of years, been married to an Aussie and known her for...
Yeah, I mean, this is it. I mean, let me see here. What is it? There are still 2 assassination attempts. I don't think it'll solve this 100%. I think that I don't think that they have been even remotely as tough and as brutal as I think they should be towards online radical speech.
Who the fuck is Leaflit?
Like the online radical, like, oh, all the people talking about like, oh, we should do this and we're gonna kill these people and whatever.
Yeah.
Like all those people need to get locked up. Like that's the problem is that, and I think the assassination culture that happened, I think it's very simple why it happens. It happens because it's allowed.
Not only is it allowed, but like people praise it when it happens. Right? Think about the Luigi thing. Like you had a ton of people on the left come out praising him and like actually, you know, a lot of people kind of falling for the guy, honestly. So, yeah.
You allow something to happen, it's going to happen. The moment that you stop allowing it, it goes away.
The best part of 20 years, I had regular visits here. It has dented that image to a large extent. I just had a message on my WhatsApp group from a relative friend of a friend, a Mexican national, and a young lad who had to run for cover, who was on the beach.
There's so many people talking about it. Exactly.
His personal tale, and we've heard so many today. But
yeah, it's easy to find them.
So
it's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Visitors that come to Bondi for its reputation. International.
They're censoring people talking about this? I don't think so.
Because of its reputation.
I haven't seen that.
Not only will this make global news headlines, but the anecdotal tales will also spread through those local networks and communities.
Yeah, I bet.
And it's easy.
Death toll's already 16.
Well, I think we've done a good job of expressing the gravity of the tragedy, and quite right too. But we need to put things in perspective, and there'll be time for that in the days ahead. Australia is still relatively a very safe place to live. I know another...
Somebody says, who defines radical speech? Don't be so open-minded your brain falls out. We're talking about advocating the killing groups of people. We're advocating for killing certain people. Just stop it.
Tom living here, who's actually a former...
I love how Asmon's just fed up with shit.
Officers. That's the armed officers for the Met Police in London. He was personal security for 2 UK Prime Ministers, Boris Johnson and Theresa May. And since coming to live here with his young boys, says you can't compare London and Sydney, for example. Sydney is so much safer. So for those who are concerned, shocked, saddened, yes, feel those emotions, but don't start thinking that Australia is now a scary place to live with imminent danger. I know there'll be people in the Jewish community who feel differently and have every right to, and that was acknowledged by Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. And that is the large question, the unanswered one that we can't answer yet, about what is done. Is it legislation? Is it...
You have to do things that they're afraid to do. If you want to solve this problem, this is a very easy problem to solve, but it will require a solution that I don't think the public is ready for. That's the issue. And I don't think they're even close to ready for it, if you want me to be honest. I don't think so. I used to think so a little bit. But after seeing this year, I don't think that we're as close as I initially believed. I don't think so. Say it? Well, I already did. I've been saying it for a while. Like, we need to reopen mental institutions, and we need to institutionalize a tremendous amount of people in society. We have to also criminalize this type of behavior and this type of discordant, psychotic, violent speech, and we have to put the people that are in jail. Like, it's why I said the 2% rule. Like, this is the big thing. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I think that we should take 2% of our population. Right now, we have 0.7% of our population in prison. I think that we need to up that number to 2%.
Let's up
we need
those
to take
numbers.
A gross number of 2% of the population, and we need to imprison them indefinitely. And we do that into prisons, we do that with mental institutions, and we do that with rehabs. right? For like crackheads, for criminals, and for crazies.
I fucking agree.
That's
honestly.
what happens. And if we, and I do really believe this, why at 20%? Because 2% are where all the problems come from. All of the problems come from like a very, very small percent.
This is like basically the same thing that Nick Fuentes said, except it's more of a scalpel instead of a shotgun. Like Nick Fuentes said the same thing, but his aim is not very. His aim was a little bit like let's just blow everything up, basically. Whereas Asmon's being a little bit more surgical with it, but it's basically the same thing.
Percentage of the population. If you get rid of all of these people and you just effectively take them out of society, we will be living in a utopia, in a paradise that you cannot even believe. You will be able.
Isn't it though? Wasn't that literally? That's literally what he said. That's literally what Nick Fuentes said. It's just obviously he's not. It's like, you know, when you're doing like a Photoshop and you're painting with a giant circle, it's like Asmon's circle is just smaller and more precise. That's it.
To go to Walmart and nothing will be locked up.
Really.
You'll be able to go to CVS and you can just buy hairspray without talking to the person that works there in order to unlock.
Dude, I think that would be sick, actually. To be honest, like, listen, El Salvador has shown that they're very, very good at jailing people. Like, they're so good at it. We should just hire them to do it. And then, like, pennies on the dollar, El Salvador can jail people way more efficiently. Yeah, we could just outsource it to them. Yeah.
The jewel case. You can leave your bike out somewhere and you're not going to get robbed. You can just walk down the street at night and there's never going to be any issues because all of the people that caused the problems are going to be in jail. That's it. It's actually that simple. Like it really is. It's literally that simple. And then you force all of the people that are.
But is it cruel and unusual punishment by American standards? I mean, I feel like we could loosen that up a bit. But really, I think like you know, if that's the concern, we can talk to them about maybe making sure it's up to our standards. But I think they'd still do a better job.
In jail into manual labor in order to have them pay for their own their own stay there. And so that's the way you do it. El Salvador did it. Where are you going to put 7 million people? Well, you build new jails and you put them in there. And if you don't have, and the thing is, like, Rome wasn't.
Think of it this way though. They're going to say, oh, but think about the money. Think about the money that it costs. Okay, well, think about the money that we already spend. The billions we already spend on people destroying society, destroying civilization. We already pay so much money cleaning up after their shit. So it's like we might as well do that while they're in a confined space.
Built in a day. So
yeah, think
what
about
I would
the money
do,
we'll save. Exactly, Vegeta. Exactly.
In the intermediary
True.
is I would just double the amount of cell population, right? I'd say like, okay, well, if there's 2 people in a cell, now there's going to be 4 people in a cell, or there's 2 people in
Make
or 1
prisoners
person.
work. Yeah. Well, what I think we should do, hear me out, guys. See, I think it's very simple. They're going to say, oh, well, you know, it's slavery, right? If you make them work. Well, here's how you do it. It's so simple, right? Well, Big Man, thank you so much for the bits. Thank you. Cruel and unusual punishment used to have tarring and feathering as an acceptable method of the accessible standard of death penalty. Our forefathers would call us spineless as well. Big Man, thank you so much for the bits. It's really simple. It's how you get away. It's how you get around this, right? So if you're saying, oh, well, you can't force them to work. Okay, well, here's what we do. We feed them gruel. Like gruel, you know, like, sir, can I have some more? Like that. You feed them like that shit, right? Like just like grits or something, like mashed up fucking rice or whatever. You feed them that all the time. That's it. You eat that. That's it. Okay. But if you work, now you can buy meat. Now you can buy like some hot dogs or like some veggies or something. You get like the deluxe platter, right? If you pay for it, if you work for it, you get like money that you can use for that that special upgrade. And then now you're not it's not slavery anymore, right? You can't say it's slavery because they're doing it willingly because they want better food.
Cell, now there's going to be 2 people in a cell, and that's it, right? And so if that's a problem, like, I don't know what to say. So no jails, labor camps around the world.
They'll just kill other people for it, and that's not how it works in prison. Yeah, and then if they do that, then you kill them. It's that simple. It's if they do that, then okay, you're on death row now, and you're dead. You're dead tomorrow. Like Like, this isn't, we can solve this. We can solve this for sure.
Yeah, and that would actually solve the problem. What do you respond to people calling this authoritarian? It's going to work. It'll work. It'll work just fine. I don't care. I don't think about labels. I think about effects and ideas. Your idea of, oh, well, I'm going to figure out the thing that you said, and then I'm going to assign a bad word to it, and that way it's wrong. No, you're like, I don't care about that. It doesn't matter. Like, every law to a degree is authoritarian. Like that's just some kind of like bullshit concept. It's like a philosophy. All of these philosophies that people have are worthless garbage. Literal worthless garbage. The reason why is because their philosophies can't actually stand up to real life examples and real life scrutiny. Good philosophy can be applied to real life. Bad philosophy can't. That type of philosophy cannot be applied to real life. They literally get people killed. Criminals should have rights, but never to the detriment of non-criminals. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, like, we want to do something to make things better for them if we can, but it's just simply not the priority. Yep. So that's it.
I agree.
What's your response to people using prisoners for labor, cruel, and unusual punishment? Well, it's not cruel and it's not unusual. And even if it was, I'd be okay with it. But I don't think that it is. The truth is that how is it unusual if we've had slavery for thousands of years? Is it really unusual if we've been doing this for the entire history of humanity? That doesn't seem unusual to me at all. And also cruel, I mean, how is it that people say solitary confinement is cruel and also making somebody work is cruel? Like, which one is it really? I think that giving a person something that they want to do or that they have to do, giving them a purpose in life is better than making them just sit in the box all day. Mm-hmm. And also we can make some money out of them. I think that also you're going to have guys that do that, and they will develop skills. They will develop a degree of competency, and it will be something that they can do that has a value to their lives whenever they're sitting there in jail, which is a good thing.
That's the funny thing is that in the pursuit to be like, well, but slavery, in the pursuit of that, you're actually doing a disservice to the actual prisoners because you're not letting them develop skills that they should be developing in order to reintegrate.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably better for them emotionally too. Yeah, so I think it's actually the opposite, and I'm sure some of them won't want to do it. That's too bad, but the majority, I think it'll be good for. Who cares? Stop labeling these people animals is what I say. Well, I'll stop labeling them as animals whenever they stop behaving like animals. The truth is that I think it's important to label them as animals. That way, you don't make the mistake of treating them like people. Because if you make the mistake of treating them like people, they will kill more people. You have to recognize things for what they are, not what you want them to be. And if you recognize them for what they want them to be, you will put other people's lives in danger and you will hurt other people.
I love this.
Apparently, he's already blaming Israel. Not a second is wasted for victims to mourn their loved ones.
Oh my
Instantly,
God,
Israel's envoys demand persecution of anti-genocide protesters worldwide. They blame
the dog shocker speaks.
The bare minimum recognition on Australia has to offer to Palestinians. Let's watch the clip and see what's being said.
You've just said, Ms. Haskell, that governments around the world, including the Australian government, could have done more.
Yeah.
To tackle anti-Semitism. What would you?
Wait, whatever happened? Hold on. How come aren't the leftists the ones who came up with the term victim blaming? What is this shit?
Have expected them to do to prevent or anticipate this kind of attack?
Well, fight racism, fight violence against Jewish community, fight racism in workplaces as strong as possible. Look, when you see those hate march in the streets, whether it's London or Sydney, and in the same.
This is the reason why Hassan is worried. It's because when 2 Israeli ambassadors were murdered by a terrorist, a Free Palestine terrorist, Hassan had to put his chat in emote-only mode whenever he was reading the murderer's manifesto. And it was so bad that even in emote-only mode, they were spamming hearts. These are his subscribers because it's his emote. He has it on emote-only mode, and they're spamming his subscriber emote hearts about this person who had killed two Israeli, two Israeli diplomats.
Honestly, I'm glad he's so honest. I'm so glad that they're honest on this. Like, to be honest,
and it was even worse than this, because after that, that's when Twitch made the rules that you're not allowed to read shooter manifestos again. So Twitch, his chat was so bad that Twitch had to change the entire rules of the website.
Did he get banned?
So that's the reason why Hassan is getting worried about this, is because his chat is ground zero for supporting this stuff.
Yep, that's true.
If you don't believe me, watch the VOD. Just go and watch it.
The opera house, they chanted, gas the Jews, gas the Jews.
This is so crazy to me, because you hear about Asmongold, right? You hear about Asmongold, and what do they say about him? They say that he's fucking evil, that he's full of hate, that he's a Nazi, bigot, homophobe, all the phobe, racist. And then you have Hassan, who's actually spewing like real hate. Like, his community is filled with real hate. And it's like, oh yeah, he's the good guy. It took him shocking a dog for people to be like, oh, that's a little bit too far. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? Are you taking the fucking piss? What is this world?
Not even a single arrest. Not even a single person who had to...
She's right. She's completely right about this.
Did you see the Asmon article? I haven't, no.
Answer for that, but they tried to cover that. When you hear them chanting to globalize the Intifada, what do you think that means? Globalizing the Intifada mean exactly that. To go
Doesn't Hassan's orbiters literally say that too? Don't they literally say that? I swear I've heard one of them say it.
Massacres, shooting people in the streets to violently attack them. This is what it means. And if you let that continue and run in your street,
Frogman has
waving flags of terrorists, pictures of people.
The judge enabled them. We had the same protest half a year. Yeah.
Who murdered innocent children. You know, if you don't fight it, in your silence, you actually support that.
They do worse than that. They enable it because they think that it's on the right side of history. Seriously, get them all out? Absolutely. I don't hate the Jewish community, but we need to remove all influence from AIPAC. Otherwise, this is just going to get worse. I think that you're right about that. I think that a lot of and this is unfair, but I think that it should still be mitigated, and it should be acknowledged that the amount of influence and impact that Israel has on, Western politics, it does absolutely cause people to become more bigoted. It does.
It does.
And ADL, yeah, 100%.
That's what I was saying. Is that they're not doing themselves any favors by how they're acting in that way.
And
then you combine that with people that are unable to separate like the Jewish, like the Israel and like a random Jewish person. You have people that are like incapable of separating the two.
Doesn't have it, but really that doesn't have globally Jews don't have a shared accountability of the actions of AIPAC, the ADL, or even Israel.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
It's not like every Jew has to explain why Israel does something. It's crazy to even think that.
Yeah, we should ask Nux about that. What do you think? You think he's in those meetings?
Specify that.
He's the most powerful Jew. So I guess he's like Goku, but he's like the Goku of Jews. So he would know, I think.
The Intifada means exactly that. A terrorist attack on a beach in Australia where Australian civilians are being murdered and killed. This is what it means. So when you hear that, start acting, enforcing.
Well, yeah, you just enforce the law. The problem
is hyper-informed about this. Dude, I should ask him, honestly. If that's true, I should ask him, K-Darts, because I'm going to be real. I mean, I've said this before. I've been very honest about this. The Middle East is not really my expertise. I don't really know that much about it. Again, it's because my interest levels are just not very high, right? Because for me personally, I feel like there's so much shit happening in America that I'm more focused on what's going on in America than I am with the Middle East. But all I know is what both sides are saying and what we know to be true. What we know for sure is true. And what we know for sure is true is, like I said, that they went into Israel with a bunch of terrorists and they killed a bunch of civilians. Everybody agrees on that. So that's the part I know about.
We don't need any new laws. We just need the current laws to be enforced. This isn't about Jews. It's about Israel. We definitely can't separate the two. We can't definitely separate the two. We absolutely can. You absolutely can separate the two. And whenever you go around killing random Jews, then you are no longer protesting Israel. Are you retarded? What do you mean by that? Then why does Israel take ownership for everything for the Jews? Those are like terrorists using the children as shields. You're not wrong, but that doesn't. What is that? What are you adding to the conversation by saying that?
Persecuting, punishing.
I think
so
we already said that.
People understand this is absolutely unacceptable.
It's nuts.
No racism, no violence will be accepted, not in Australia and not in the UK either.
I don't care about the racism. That's whatever, but I do care about the violence.
The thing is they don't care about the racism either. Even the people that say racism all the time, they actually don't even care about the racism. They only care when it is in their favor, basically. They love using racism to gain power. They don't actually care about it on principle.
Violence, that actually matters. So yeah, ignore it, it goes one way. Yeah, exactly, right? And it's just crazy. Telling people are retarded? Yeah, I guess so, right? And but it's acceptable.
I mean, I think I demonstrated that pretty hard, actually, in my last debate with Tazito. Again, I don't hate Tazito. I'm just saying that, like, I think I demonstrated my point very, very well there.
Acceptable to kill 30K kids? Well, I'm gonna pull you up. Can I ask you a question? What the fuck does an Australian Jew have to do with Israel? What the fuck do they have to do with it at all?
It's the telepathic connection, obviously. Yeah. Is the Jewish racial where they're all telepathically connected? They're like a one like they're like a hive mind where they all they're not just like individuals, they're like a giant superstructure. They're like a giant superstructure organism where they're all connected mentally. Psychically, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like Starlink, yeah, except it's Jews. Yeah, that was a joke, by the way. If you're retarded, I'm memeing. If you're retarded.
Like, why are you even bringing up the actions of Israel? Like, these are people that are getting massacred at a beach. What does Israel have to do with this at all? He left the chat. He ran away. He roached
out.
Did he really?
Oh my God!
Oh no! Here we go.
Okay.
And it's wrong, but it's so horrible. Why are we not condemning every action of this kind? Who says we're not condemning it? Okay, I'll let this person explain it a little bit more. Well, people in your chat don't seem to care about kids dying in Gaza, but this is horrible. I'm just saying.
They're not even this. Hold up. Okay, hold up. So you're telling me that there was a war between Israel and Hamas, okay? And there are kids that are in combat zones amongst terrorists and they get killed. You're telling me that's the same thing as going to a beach and shooting civilians in a peaceful country? How can you not know that there's a difference? How could you possibly not know that there's a difference between that? What the fuck?
Contrast is so crazy on the opinion. People in my chat don't seem to care about kids dying in Gaza. How did you decide that? What made you decide? Why do you think that people in my chat don't care about kids dying in Gaza?
Obviously, it's bad when kids die.
What is your justification for that? What do you mean by that? Like, I think that the majority of us...
It's very simple. It's always a tragedy when kids die in a conflict because kids are too retarded to know anything about their beliefs. It's very simple.
It's like, this is the way I feel. Like, yeah, of course I care. I read the chat. Yeah, so do I. So what do kids in Gaza have to do with a murderer going out and killing people at a beach in Australia?
So yeah, it's for all the people that criticize me for saying the word retard. I actually care more about those little retards than you do.
Why are you even bringing that up? What does that have to do with it at all? Like, can you explain that? Yeah, why are these two things related in any capacity whatsoever? Because it's so horrible what happens in Australia, but when it happens in Gaza, some people seem to have a different view.
It's not even remotely the same.
What? Because it's so horrible when it happens in Australia. Yeah. So is it not horrible? Like, I don't even understand this. Like, why does it have to be either or? Don't ban. I just love discussions.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. But even then, it's not the same. And like, actually equating it is kind of dumb.
This isn't a discussion. Are
you autistic, Leaf? Because I think you might be a bit. I don't know. I use AI for that. I don't know, man.
It's not a discussion at all. Like, why are you even pretending like this is anything that's related? Like, what's happening in Gaza has nothing to do with some psycho going out in Australia, going on a shooting.
Yeah, let's check. Hold on. That's a good, you know what? That's a good point. That's a very good point. You know what? Hey, Grok, can you look at Leaflit on X? Read all of her tweets, the last 100 of them. What do you think are the odds that she's autistic? Oh, it went through 100 of my posts. Wow, good job, Grok. Good job. You're doing that. You're doing that. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Tweets feature short responses, memes, GIFs, and topics like politics, AI, VTubing, and games. Engages in debates on slavery. It's not that high. Okay, guys. Odds of Leaflit autism, 25 to 35%. Okay, expand to 200 tweets. Does the odds go up or down? There we go. All right, 25 to 35% autistic chance. The odds are not very high. That's not super high. Yeah, we gotta go deeper. We're going deeper. It's checking for neurodivergence signs. Neurodivergence. Oh no, now it's talking about TTRPG mechanics. I'm cooked, guys. I'm cooked. Oh, actually the odds went down. 20 to 30%. The odds went down, guys. They went down. I thought it would go up with the TTRPG mechanic stuff, but it actually went down. 20 to 30%, but still plausible, it says. Less supported by content alone, purely observational. Yeah. Actually, maybe, hold on, wait. Okay, can you analyze her replies? I think that would give us a better idea than recalculate the odds based on the replies. Oh, it's going through all of my replies, guys. Hi, Saber. Good morning. Okay, guys, what do you think, chat? Do you think the odds go up or down based on my replies? What do you think, chat? Ooh, 15 to 25%. It went down. It went down again. Based on my replies. I guess I'm not autistic then. I guess I'm not. Yeah. No explicit mentions of neurodivergence. Replies emphasize comfort in dynamic oppositional exchanges without signs of overload. Traits potentially aligning with autism include her straightforward communication, repetitive focus on core interests, and meme-heavy responses, which reflects a preference for patterned or indirect emotional expression. However, her adept handling of sarcasm, rapid-fire, combative debate style, adaptive social cues, suggests strong interpersonal flexibility. Damn. It said, you know what? She PvP's a little too hard. Apparently. Yeah. It liked my post about the sexual dimorphism of the Scar platform. Strong interpersonal flexibility, common in neurotypical creators, but less stereotypical for autism, without masking. Wait, what does masking mean? Wait, what do you mean by masking? What do I mean by that? What does that mean? Grok is glazing Leaflit? Yeah. Subconsciously suppress or hide natural behaviors, sensory sensitivities, or social differences to blend in with neurotypical expectations. So what's that like? So the only way is if I have high deception. Do you guys think I have high deception? What do you think, chat?
Rampage.
They do call me a grifter.
The way that Gaza is approached by anybody has nothing to do with that. By implying that there's a connection, you are implying that there is a level of blood accountability that Australian Jews have for something that happened in Gaza.
Hold on. What do you think are the odds based on replies and posts that she's gay? I was curious. Hey, Zilla, thank you so much. Thank you for the host. Thank you. Uh-oh. I'm generalizing. Oh, no flags in the bio. That's true. You got me, Grok. I got no flags in the bio. None. That's true. Oh my god, is it really saying I'm gay for nice nature? Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. Oh, I should ask it if it thinks I'm a furry. What do you think? Should I ask furry? Should I ask furry next? What do you think, chat? What do you know the odds that she's a furry? Ooh, 10 to 20% gay, apparently. 10 to 20% gay. That's not very high. Yeah. Not very high. Okay. What do you think are the odds that she's a furry? What do you think? I think I have to do a control after this. Ask which Japanese daguerreotype leaflet is. Dude, that's a good one. I should ask that. True. You're so true. You're so that's so true. I should do that. ADHD, is that different from autism? Oh my god, it's searching my profile it's searching my tweets for the word fursona. It's really trying to get me, you know, it's really going for it. Oh no, it says furry adjacent because I said scaly. Oh fuck. Oh no, she likes Pipkin Pipa. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh my god, that's too high. 30 to 40%. Oh fuck. All right, hold on. All right, I'm asking, what anime daguerreotype do you think she would be? Wait, what the fuck is a Sado dere? What the fuck is Sado dere? What the fuck is that? What does that mean? The hell is that? Sadistic? Did it make it up? Did it make that up? Is that like a made up thing? Oh fuck. Okay, guys, this is the worst. This is the worst fucking. Oh shit. 80%. This is the fucking worst. This is the fucking worst, chat. This is even worse than the furry thing. 80% tsundere. This is so fucking bad. I thought I would get something else, right? I mean, this is just wrong, right, chat? I mean, this is just the AI is just hallucinating, right? This is I mean, you do have twin tails. They're too short. These are too short. They're too short for like actual. Okay, I'm asking for ADHD. It's the last one. Saber says, consider how you treat me all the time. I think sadistic is pretty accurate. Well, you're wrong. I mean, fuck. Actually, wait. I can't say that because if I say that, it means I agree with Grok. No, is the AI hallucinating? It might be. You know what? I think it was hallucinating the last one, actually. I think it started hallucinating with the tsundere, actually, no, the furry. It started with the furry. I think the furry just fucked it up completely. It says 25%. 25% chance of being ADHD. See, it's not even that high. Unless you guys are going to tell me that's wrong. Then in which case, if that's wrong, then the odds of me being tsundere at 80% is also wrong, right? So I'm willing to split it and say, like, they're both wrong. Let it watch a video on you. I would have to go to, okay, if we're going to do videos, I got to go to Gemini. All right, one sec. I'll move over to Gemini. Okay, Gemini. Okay, watch a few videos of the Leaflit Story channel. All right, check, link. What anime daguerreotype would you say Leaflit is if you had to guess? You are an expert in anime. All right, here we go. Let's see. Oh, yeah, true. Often described as based. Damn, thank you. Handcam gun stream shows another layer. Okay, nice. Okay, it's watching my videos now. Oh no, why is it isolating tsundere again? Can you stop? What is this? Stop it. Oh no. Troll tendencies, which are very soon. Oh god. Reddit discussions about her submissive reactions and bashful What? Reddit discussions about my bashfulness. Is that a thing? What? FBI, open up! Oh my god, Devil's Gaming, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for the raid. I hope you had a good stream. Thank you. Oh, okay, it came up with it. Oh my god, it gave me a hybrid. Oh, fuck. Damn it. Or Arna, thank you so much for the bits. Thank you. 102% tsundere and 2% margin of error. Okay, guys, it said, oh, fuck off, bro. It gave me the worst ones. It gave me 3. So it listed 3, basically. It said that there are 3, well, no, there's 1 main type, and then there's 2 main types, and then 1 subtype, basically. So it says, soon, hold on, let me make sure I do a little shout out here. Oh, you did already. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Devos. I hope you had a good stream. Thank you. Thanks for all the bits, everyone. Thank you. All right, it says tsundere. It said tsundere or himedere. What is himedere? What is that? I'm not princess type, but it says here. It says, based on the videos and online persona, Leaflit fits the tsundere archetype the most with a strong element of gap moe, with an honorable mention of himedere because she's bratty. In the short, whose fault is it? You can see the classic tsundere deflection mechanics. What the fuck? The classic tsundere deflection mechanics in action. Instead of accepting blame or calmly discussing the issue, she immediately shifts into a defensive mode, repeatedly insisting that it's your fault to her mother. This bickering dynamic is a staple of the archetype. Her public persona is defined by being opinionated, outspoken, and willing to be controversial. showcases a combative, no-nonsense attitude where she isn't afraid to be harsh. While she projects a tough guy or edgy image, her dynamic with Asari exposes a softer, more dependent side. Fans often note her personality does a 180 when she's interacting with her mother. She switches from loud, confident commentator to being bashful, timid, and affectionate, which creates a Gap Moe archetype. Her visual design and brattiness give off the Himedere vibes. Conclusion: she is tsundere, leads with a prickly, aggressive, trollish exterior to the world, but reveals a sweet and flustered, submissive side to specific people she loves. This is fucked up. This is bullshit. You guys are right. AI sucks. You guys are right. You know what? I should have... True. I see now what all the anti-AI people are talking about. Forbidden Gabagool, thank you so much for the bits. Thank you. Saber says, I've never been so validated. Man, this is so dumb. This is so dumb. Fuck you guys.
Because that's the only, like, there's a news have for something that happened in Gaza.
Thank you, Master Seto. Thank you for 5 gifts. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Because that's the only, like, there's a million things. It's all horrible. I'm saying media is downplaying what's happening in Gaza.
That's exactly
but this is on every first page.
Caught soothing again.
Page, bro. I'm saying the contrast is weird. The media is downplaying what's happening in Gaza. Are you kidding me? No, they're not. Also, yeah, this just happened. This literally happened today. So, of course, they're going to talk about this today because it just happened. It's breaking news. Yeah, what about Ukraine? Exactly. And also, like, why is it that Gaza is somehow... Actually, let me ask you something.
Well, Karen, thanks for the gift sub to Brat.
Why is it that Gaza is uniquely connected to this specific thing? Because there's kids dying all over in Sudan.
Yeah. Why are you laughing at me? What? McDonald's?
Before I go to bed.
Maybe just more water. Thank you. I said more water. More water.
And Africa. I'm sure kids have died in Ukraine.
It's because I'm injured right now. That's why my mom's getting me water. I'm not just telling her to get me water. It's because I'm injured.
And there's probably wars in other places, probably in Africa right now. Why is it that it's in Gaza? I'm definitely not saying Australian people have anything to do with Gaza. If they don't have anything to do with Gaza, then why are you bringing it up? Like, you look at Sudan. Sudan's another genocide, and it's happening right now. Mm-hmm. So why aren't you bringing up Sudan? Why are you bringing up Gaza specifically? I'll tell you why you're bringing up Gaza specifically. I don't want to deal with this anymore. It's because you want to assign a collective guilt to Jewish people and then compare it to something that Jewish people have done that's bad, and then use the other side of the world.
Yeah, and then apply it to innocent people to justify why innocent people were killed. Yep, basically. That's why. Thanks for the gifts up to him. I don't even act like a human. I don't even act like a humanitarian. What the fuck is this shit?
That's the reason why you're doing it. That's the reason why you used Gaza as an example, and you didn't use Sudan or anything else. It's obvious. And it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Should have been a perma. It probably should have been.
You could totally have a good
brainwashed to hate Jews. Well, it's just like, again, he's basically saying that we need all those flags in our bio and collect them like Pokemon. Yes, of course. And also, like, yeah, it's justifying exactly. It's so ridiculous. And
Hokutan, thank you again for the bits. Any chance of a classic?
Yeah, Hassan is worried about this because he's probably worried about getting in trouble for it, because his community is ground zero for like negative anti-Semitic things like this. And if anybody disagrees with me, watch his chat on the day that happened. Watch his chat with him reading the manifesto. That is undeniable. And I'm sure that he could come back and say, oh, but your chat said W Nazis or something said Hitler was based. Here's the difference. The majority of those people were not my subscribers. They were just random viewers. And also, those people got banned. I wonder if the people in Hassan's chat got banned. Yep. That's the difference.
Exactly. Very true.